Welcome to Full Count Rhythm Baseball on the Full Count Broadcast Network, presented by Full Count Ministry and Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Now let's send it to the ballpark for today's matchup.
Good evening, Rhythm fans, and welcome to Chillicothe, Ohio, in Ross County, Ohio, for tonight's second game in a three-game series between the Full Count Rhythm and the Chillicothe Paints, who've been around for 31 years in some form or fashion. Now in the Prospect League, they were a minor league team, several major league teams over the years, but 2020, when the contraction occurred, they had to get out of minor league baseball and back into the Prospect League. I guess maybe they were in the Prospect League the whole time. They had two different teams. Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. Inquiring minds want to know, as I've just talked myself into a dilemma.
We're gonna have to.
My name's Max Keller. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not Max Keller.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put our research intern on that one.
Yeah, we'll see if Wilson Reese is out there listening in. But I did do research on Chillicothe, and they have been around a number of years. Honestly, I thought that they were taken out in the contraction, but as I said that, I did a bad thing. I said something I wasn't sure about. Anyway, this is Tim Reese with his foot in his mouth, and I am joined by Max Keller right over there, the good-looking portion of this broadcast team. And Max is now on for his fourth game. Not that we're just keeping track, but Max is a rising senior at the University of Miami down in Florida, and he is our broadcast intern this year, and it's great having him. Max, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Got some sleep today after that long bus ride up here to Chillicothe, Ohio, my first time in Ohio, but that game yesterday obviously was exciting, and then, I'm feeling good. I said before the game to Tim, I said, I feel like this team is starting to put it together, and I feel a hot streak coming.
Well, we need it right now. It's been a win one, lose one, and right now we're on the lose one streak. Lost last night 10-5 to these Paints. Had a lead. I guess I need to go back and do the research on how many games that we've had the lead in, and it seems like it's been in most, if not all. I know they score early, and a lot of runs scored in the first inning, but could not keep the lead in yesterday's game, giving up a 6 spot to the Paints in the bottom of the 8th and fell 10-5. Rhythm now 3-4 on the year. Chillicothe moves to 3-2. If you look on their stats, it indicates that they've played 7 games, but 2 of those were exhibition games against the Johnstown Mill Rats, and that was against the Lafayette Aviators, or Lafayette Aviators. I still got to get that ready. It took me 20-plus years to learn how to say Lafayette or Lafayette instead of Lafayette. Now I got to relearn it. But the southern pronunciation and the northern pronunciation. So the clouds look like they're giving way to some sunshine here at VA Memorial Stadium, and hopefully the rain will stay away for tonight's game. I think rain may be coming in a little bit later on. It rained a little bit during the day here in Chillicothe, as weren't sure we were going to get some baseball in tonight. I think it'll be a doubleheader tomorrow. But we will take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineups. You're listening to the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Welcome back to the Full Count Broadcast Network. Now it's time for the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineup.
Big thanks to Todd Hunley and Linda Hunley, his lovely bride, at Chick-fil-A of Rivergate for their support of Full Count Rhythm Baseball and Full Count Ministries. Have to check with Todd to see if he's going to go down on one of the mission trips this summer. 3 in June, starting this Saturday, and then 2 more in the month of July. Here are the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineups. First, for the visiting Full Count Rhythm, Joe Watkins will lead off and play right field. Andrew Hunt batting second, playing center field. Aiden Gibson batting third, playing third base. Joey Parliament out at second base, hitting cleanup. Caden Wilkes behind the plate, batting fifth. Lawson T is the DH tonight. He is batting sixth. Jacob Rowald, our Frosted Blue Owl player of the game yesterday, will play left field and bat seventh. Jackson Cothran at first base for the first time that I have ever seen. He'll hit eighth. Parker McDonald wearing a different jersey number. He'll bat ninth and play shortstop. And on the mound, 5'10", 190-pound senior Carson Howard from the University of North Alabama. He's a right-hander from Pike Road, Alabama. Son of Rick and Trish Howard, grandson of Papa and Nana in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. He will face the lineup for the Paints. It looks like this. Alex Moneill leading off, playing left field. Eric Colasso in center field, batting second. George Gomez will bat third and play second base. Felix Polanco back in the cleanup spot. And out at third base, Cole Riley is the DH, batting fifth. Trevor Colton back. First base, batting sixth. Ty Hatfield behind the plate, batting seventh. Tyler Mendez out in right field. He'll hit eighth. And the final batter in the Paints lineup, Alex Bemis, who will play shortstop. And on the mound is right-hander Garrett Helsel, Helsel, as you see on the scoreboard there. Helsel, let's see if he had any previous outings. He does. He has one outing. He's 1-0. Started the game, went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs. Struck out 9 in that contest, facing 19 batters. So the Rhythm going to look to see if they can get the sticks going against the right-hander. And that is your Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineup. Do also want to thank Ryan Duncan over at Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They are our title sponsor. And those of you that have checked in on other broadcasts, you probably heard this. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and the Rhythm baseball team did not coordinate the naming of their entities. So it's just a coincidence that Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and the Full Count Rhythm connected together, and we appreciate Ryan Duncan and his crew as they are building a brand new dealership over there on Gallatin Road, Main Street, as you come in from Chick-fil-A of Rivergate there in Madison. So we thank our 2 big sponsors, Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. Max, we're waiting on something here. Not exactly sure.
I think we are waiting on something.
We've got some kids along with the Paints players that are waiting in front of the dugout. And now sounds like our PA announcer Tim has been given the thumbs up and is ready to go. Winning Wednesday it is here at the ballpark. You buy a scorecard and you've got a chance at winning gas cards from Valero, and I think you might have a chance to win some cash. I didn't buy a scorecard, did you?
I did not. I believe that if you win, you can win up to $100 in cash.
Garrett Helsel, I said he's a right-hander. He's actually a left-hander.
He is a left-hander.
Well, That's 2 broadcast errors already. I'm going to have to hand over the microphone to you and just maybe go down and get another bratwurst.
Well, he's a big old lefty, 6'5", 240 pounds, from Black Lake, Ohio, and he had an up and down year at Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville. He had an 8.2 ERA and 52 2/3 innings pitched. Struck out 51 batters, walked 29, and opponents hit 326 off of him. We'll see what he has tonight.
Well, it's national anthem time, and you know what that means. We are unpatriotic here, so we'll have to take a break. We'll be right back after these messages.
You might get an app, but your money doesn't. Like right now. At Volunteer State Bank, it's working hard day and night, earning 4.5% APY. Playtime, drive time, anytime. You could be out with friends or on vacation, but your money, it doesn't take a break. You've worked hard for it. Now let it work hard for you. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account today and earn 4.5 annual percentage yield if qualifications are met on balances up to $15,000.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
And Mark McDaniel would say, play ball, after the national anthem was sung live here at VA Memorial Stadium. This is Tim Reese along with Max Keller for tonight's audio somewhat only call. You do get to see us as we look like we're confused. At least me, I'll look like I'm confused. Max looks like he knows what he's doing, but he's a little too far away from that camera. Tomorrow night, we're going to switch roles. Max is going to be right here in the driver's seat, and I'll be over in the passenger seat. Max out there in center field, 3 outfielders on bended knee with the young ball players out there in center field. Look like they're having prayer out there. I saw that last night. Very impressed as Alex Monil, Eric Colasso, and tonight Tyler Mendez having prayer with like about 5 young guys about, 3, 4, 5 years old.
And they follow instructions pretty well. They got off the field the way they were supposed to.
Excellent job. Did not run right through the infield. They ran around the outfield. Good job, guys. Good job, Alex, Eric, and Tyler out in the outfield. Thanks for joining us on the audio broadcast on the rhythm side of things, but PLTV up and running with good cameras for Chillicothe Paints. Appreciate them and their professionalism here as they've got cameras down the first base line, third base line. They've got one out in center field, and they have one right in front of the press box just a little bit to our left. We have our own 5 windows in here. We're utilizing 3 of the windows. Open air. Nice. Feels pretty nice. A little bit muggy here.
I think for the most part, I'm definitely not complaining about the temperature we got. It felt hotter last night. I think tonight feels like a great temperature for some baseball, and already just watching Helsel get warmed up out there. It looks like he has a changeup that sits about 78 miles an hour, fastball between 86 and 88, and a curveball at 75.
Look at you paying attention to things happening before the game starts.
We'll see what he can do against Joe Watkins, the junior from UAB.
Rhythm in their red tops and white bottoms. First pitch swinging is Joe Watkins. He fouls that one off to the right side. A AAA Auto Glass foul ball, and we are underway at 7:06 p.m. Eastern. Chillicothe, just about 45 minutes to an hour south of Columbus, Ohio. Next pitch is low and inside. Game time temperature 79 degrees, brought to you by Chillicothe Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Chillicothe offers permanent solutions in waterproofing and foundation repair to heal your home symptoms. Heal your home with Chillicothe. Ground ball down to first base. That'll be handled easily by Colton back. And Watkins grounds out to lead off the top of the first inning. Joe was hitting 200 coming into today's game from University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Well, now comes Andrew Hunt, who has been one of the Rhythm's best hitters this year. He looks the first pitch in there for strike one, and I couldn't even really get my statistics off. That's how fast Garrett Helsel's working on the mound. Said he touched 90 on that last pitch, so I was wrong.
That breaking pitch misses outside. Hunt dropped almost 50 percentage points with his 0 for 4 yesterday, and now comes in hitting 296. Also from University of Alabama, Birmingham. Did not play this past year. Looks at ball 2 balls and a strike.
A former Wallace State Community College guy transferred to UAB.
He had a great year at Wallace State too. There's one fisted glove by Polanco. Points his glove over to Colton back and then delivers a strike to the first baseman for out number 2. So 2 ground outs here for the first 2 batters, wearing the brand new red uniforms with blue numbers and trimmed in white, and they're wearing their white pants with the wide Rhythm blue color stripe down the side, trimmed in navy.
I gotta say, these things look amazing. I'm a big jersey guy, and I would give these a 9.5 out of 10.
Ground ball that Helsel tried to backhand glove by Gomez at second base. He throws on to first, but will not be able to get Aiden Gibson, third baseman. Should be an infield single, and it's already up on the board. There is an infield single. It's hit softly back to the mound. Helsel, who falls off toward third base, tried to reach around his body with his glove, but not even close. Gomez had to charge and throw on the run as he was going toward the Rhythm dugout, but his throw was offline, and Gibson beat it out. Joey Parliament, who was the leadoff batter in yesterday's game, looks at ball 1 as called from our base umpire yesterday, Jimmy Craig, who's behind the plate. George Tidwell replaced by Kyle Oldius. There we go. Now I got it. There's a ball that gets by Ty Hatfield, the catcher. Goes all the way to the backstop, and Gibson will move down to second base. On my score sheet, that's a pass ball. Did not get down into the artificial turf. Not sure what happened with that call. I'm not sure if he was expecting a different pitch or not, but Helsel at 6'5" gets the sign, and at the stretch, one look back at second base, and he'll deliver a pitch that apparently is a little bit up, and that's 3 balls and no strikes to Parliament.
Well, how do you avoid helping out a guy on the mound who struck out 9 batters in 5 innings? Well, you have a good eye and you try to avoid swinging at unnecessary pitches.
That's a questionable call on that pitch. It would look like low and outside, but on 3-0 count, you'll get those calls from time to time, and Helsel got it, 3 balls and a strike. Parliament was 1 for 5 in yesterday's contest, and he will draw the walk. And after the first 2 were retired, the next 2 reach. First walk of the ball game for Helsel, who says, I don't like that baseball, give me another one. And while you're getting it, I'm going to go back here and get a little rosin on my hand, turn my back on you, and That was a little unusual. Made his catcher Hatfield wait to throw the ball back to him. Sequencing didn't seem right there. Caden Wilkes, leading hitter on the squad at 474 coming into today's game. Stands in. He's batting 5th in the lineup. Slider, 89 mile an hour, cut fastball at least. There was a lot of movement on that pitch.
Wilkes has been phenomenal so far to start the season at the plate. He hasn't had the most at-bats, but it's looked great so far as he fouls one back.
He was right on that fastball.
He, so far on the season, is hitting 474 in 19 at-bats with a home run, 7 RBIs. And he has a runner in scoring position right now, standing on second.
6'3", 220 pounds, the son of Brian and Shanna. Wilkes fouls that one at the plate. He wanted me to give a special shout out to his mother, Shanna. He wanted me to let her know that he appreciates you washing his pants. Apparently they get really dirty. I'll just tell you this, I and Pedro Pulliam, who's one of the players that stays with me, we washed his uniform top the other day, unknowingly. It is a high chopper. Helzel off the mound, and he throws a little bit high over to first base, but it is within reach of Trevor Coltonback, and Wilkes is retired on the ground out. 1-3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. They're headed to the bottom of the first. Again, we want to thank Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram for being title sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram knocks it out of the park with Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, all new vehicles come with a Rhythm exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, no additional charge. That's a home run. Find your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in Madison, just 10 minutes north of Nashville.
If you've got a dream, then we've got you covered. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is like no other.
Think about something for a moment. Every single business, from the smallest neighborhood bakery to the biggest multinational corporation, is someone's dream come true. The byproduct of planning and determination and hard work. If you own a business, you already know that. So you'll also understand that fire and security protection isn't just about protecting property. It's about safeguarding dreams. At Corson, that's what we've specialized in since 1946. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Tim Reese and Max Keller back on the Full Count Broadcast Network. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, Facebook, and or X, formerly known as Twitter. Catawba Indians, with 4 former Full Count Rhythm players, smoked the University of South New Hampshire, I think is what they're called. The Penmen, I believe, is their nickname. 18-1 was the final on that one, and one of our former La Quinta Inn and Suites alumni spotlight players, Drew Robertson, had a day. He went 4 for 5 in that ball game, drove in 5 runs. All 4 were singles. Tried to stretch one into a double, but he was thrown out. But Levi Perrell went 3 for 6. His first pitch swinging, Alex Moneill lines one down the left field line. That's fair, and off the wall in the corner. Jacob Rowald's going to dig that one out of there, and first pitch swinging Alex Moneill gets an extra base hit off of Pig Howard on his birth certificate. I think it probably says Carson.
Probably so.
But he's known as Pig. Eric Colasso, the center fielder, stands in. And he looks at a called strike on the outside corner. Shirley Ann Hunt. Nana's checking in. Nana, I'm going to remember. I think you're down in Birmingham. Let's check that out. Nana's in Birmingham. Breaking pitch, lined into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. One hops to Shirley Ann Hunt's grandson, and he gets the ball back in quickly as Jackson Cothran, the first baseman, cuts that one off and some back-to-back singles for the Paints to start their bottom half of the first inning. Howard has one appearance, did not get a decision in that start, went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. They were earned, walked 2, struck out 4. And he's in a jam here in the bottom of the first with runners at the corners. George Gomez stands in. He looks at a called strike on the outside corner.
Well, I like the aggressiveness from Howard to get that first pitch strike, even though he's been leaving some of those second and third pitches over the plate. It's still important to get ahead 0-1 if you can.
Changeup fouled off, and that'll get on the roof. AAA Autoglass foul ball off of the right-handed hitting Gomez.
And that one was much better located from Howard. It was on the inside, and it kind of got in on the hands of Gomez.
From Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic is Gomez. He swings and foul tips that ball out of the mitt of Caden Wilkes behind the plate, so he stays alive.
Nearly a fun-looking strikeout, but just got the end of the bat off that one to stay alive and keep what could have danger written all over this inning.
Gomez,
keep it alive.
Sorry. Gomez 0 for 4 in yesterday's game. He lines one down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it's just foul. Right on that edge, Travis Smith over at Edge Appraisal Services. Yesterday was Travis Smith's birthday. I think he was 32. Just kidding. I have no idea how old Travis was, but I bet you.
You're quick at guessing.
I am. I'm quick at math and quick at guessing. I mean, I'll stick my neck out there, but I'd bet you at lunch at McDonald's he's not 32. 42 maybe. Runner goes. Another foul ball, and Darian Lewis, the head coach for the Paints, is 3 for 3 on ground balls down to the third base coach's box. Darian Lewis in his first year with Chillicothe. Jeff Heinrich is in his first year as the assistant coach. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Runner does not go and pitches in the dirt or turf and blocked nicely by Wilkes. The runners have to stay put.
Well, that would have been a good opportunity for Colosso to go, despite Wilkes keeping that in front of him, but lucky for the Rhythm, he was not taken off this time.
He does not go here, and a swing and a miss on a fastball. That's the fastest one that I've seen that Howard's thrown tonight at 87 miles an hour, and gets the roof store strikeout. Now double play, do that double play and get him out of the inning. Felix Polanco, the third baseman, stands in. Also from the DR. Down there were Wade and Casey Rainey are missionaries in the Dominican Republic. Pitch is a breaking pitch outside. Colosso stays put again. Polanco 2 for 4 in yesterday's game, had 2 RBI, scored a run, drove in one of those runs with a double from Waylon Baptist. Runner goes this time, pitches outside. Wilkes drops the ball as he tried to reach into the glove and pull the arm back. Lost it on the cock as he was trying to cock that rifle and throw down to second base, but stolen base for Colosso. Puts runners now both in scoring position, second and third, and that takes away the possibility of the do-dat double play. 2 balls, no strikes, and Howard delivers. Fouled off the screen just above the on-deck circle. As the man in the hole, number 12, Trevor Coldenbach, went to flip it to the, who is that, number 40. See, that is Landon Vance, who looks like he's handling all the baseballs.
Off the noggin.
That's a check swing foul ball, and that's going to say he's thinking that hits his hand, and they're going to say check out at base umpire, and he's going to say no, he didn't swing. Apparently, on the check swing, the ball hit the hands.
Same exact issue as last night when now we learned that Trevor Coltonback was the batter.
Well, I think there's a little difference here in that this was the hands that were holding the bat.
Yeah.
Yesterday's with Coltonback, who's now on deck, is his was on his elbow. As Riley stands in, Cole Riley from VMI, Virginia Military Institute, is the DH, and he is batting now with the bases loaded. Looks at a called strike, and the do-dat double play is back in play. Changeup from Howard, had a lot of movement on it, but moved high and outside. Riley from Radnor, Ohio, just north of Columbus. Had a nice wrinkle on that breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Riley definitely not looking for that.
Yeah, he almost stepped out of the box because that one started so far inside, but great snap on the curveball there from Carson Howard.
Howard ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He has 1 strikeout in the inning. Yanks that one low and outside. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 out. Alex Moneill started the inning off with a first pitch double down the left field line. Eric Colasso, 2 pitches later, singled to center, and they had runners at first and third. After a strikeout, Colasso steals second, and now Polanco gets hit on the knuckles. And Carson Howard has delivered 2 balls after getting up ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and we'll have our first Full Count Ministries Full Count. Stay tuned after the game. We'll have the Full Count Ministries verse of the game. If you want to join the show, send an email to treesports@gmail.com, as there is a full count. First pitch, foul ball off the full count swing by Cole Riley.
And you could tell how confident Howard is with that breaking ball. He went to it full count, knowing that if he misses, that's a run walked in.
Rhythm in a pickle here in the bottom of the first. Pickle comes with a bratwurst here at the ballpark, and there is an RBI on the walk. First walk of the ball game by Carson Howard, and Moneill steps on home plate. Gives Chillicothe the 1-0 lead, and the bases are still loaded. Colasso moves down to third, Polanco at second, Riley at first base. Now Trevor Coltonback, who pinch hit yesterday, and he drives one into left center field. That'll get down and score 2 runs. Punt throw to third is cut off by Gibson, or Parker McDonald at shortstop. So 2-run single by Coltonback. The Paints are up 3-0. Hit a line drive right over Parker McDonald at shortstop. On the play, Riley moves to third. McDonald looked up and he saw how far off the base Coltonback had gotten at first. Started to throw as that pitch gets in there for a strike to Ty Hatfield. And he sees the first base coach, who's wearing a red top and white pants, and nearly threw it to first, but Jackson Cothran was heading towards second base as Howard gets ahead of Hatfield as he swung and missed. 1 out, runners at the corners. Howard's fastball dialed up at 88 miles an hour on that one. Misses low and outside, a ball and 2 strikes. That's fisted, and that gets into right field for a base hit, another RBI. Watkins can throw to third, cut off by McDonald, but the throw is in time, but the tag by Aiden Gibson is high, and Coltonback slid under the tag. I think if Gibson just lays the glove down right in front of the bag instead of tries to reach out to the player, then Coltonback is going to slide right into the tag. Or if McDonald lets that one go, it might have one hopped right to Gibson, who could have applied the tag, but Now the 8th batter to come to the plate for the Paints, and another 1st and 3rd situation. 4-0 Paints lead.
I mean, so far it's just been death by 1,000 paper cuts for Carson Howard. Just unfortunate that the Paints have found the holes in this defense.
Breaking pitch gets in there for a called strike to Mendez, the right fielder. Tyler from Woodbridge, New Jersey, goes to Kean University, Kean. 6'1", 203 pounds, the roster says, as Wilkes bluffs a throw down to first base. Not sure how much Jackson Cothran played first base at Ohio University. Just up the road at Athens, and time is called. And Josh Carman is coming out. Carson Howard is walking around behind home plate, and he might have injured himself. He's got his left hand on his hip. Not sure if it's a hip issue or an arm issue, and now the trainer for the Chillicothe Paints will come out as well. It looks like they're going to have to get somebody loose.
Looks like J.D. Price is getting up early. He wasn't expecting to go until the 7th or 8th inning. Not sure if he's the only arm that got up, but he might be having to go in the game early.
Well, if they have to have a replacement, and it looks like they're going to, whoever it is, it would be allowed to actually get warmed up
on the field.
So whoever it's going to be can just grab their glove, come onto the field. But it looks like Pig Howard's going to exit this ball game with a 1-ball and 2-strike count on Tyler Mendez. Not sure what the issue is for Carson, who is a 3rd-year player with the full count rhythm. And he is walking off the field. Hate to see anybody go down with an injury, and Carson has definitely shown leadership here on this squad in his 3rd year, 5'10", 190-pound rising senior at the University of North Alabama. Son of Rick and Trish Howard, grandson of Papa and Nana in Muscle Shoals, stays at the host home of Todd and Melinda Neal. It's the 3rd year that he's been over there, so apparently they enjoy that relationship. He's over there this year with Raleigh Claunch. Last 2 years he's been over there with Jackson Benjamin, former right-hander at Lenore Rhine University. His mentor is Grant Edwards. A year ago, 7 appearances, 4 starts, got in 24 innings of work at a 0.74 ERA, and that is number 41 out on the mound, right?
That is J.D. Price, my roommate.
Your roommate here at the Quality Inn.
And, he was excited to get to go today. Again, he was expecting to come in the 6th or 7th inning. But luckily for them, there was a plan to have some extra pitchers ready to go today. So hopefully that'll be able to cover for the inning and a 3rd. Unfortunately, Carson Howard having to come out of the game due to injury. And now this bullpen's going to have to find a way to work through it. And Howard's final line will not be done until, as he is responsible for the runners on 1st and 3rd until the end of the inning. But he had 1 walk and 1 strikeout.
4 hits and 1 hit batter as well, so he pitched to 7+. So this batter will now be the responsibility of J.D. Price. J.D. from Georgia Southwestern, the Hurricanes. 6'3", 185-pound redshirt junior from Knoxville, Tennessee. He played at Christian Academy of Knoxville. That's CAK. Transferred from Western Carolina and Southern Union Community College. He's a business administration major, the son of Jimmy and Janice Price.
He was telling me about some of the guys he got to throw against in high school. He got to throw against, I said that, and then I let in, and
now you
I
weren't ready.
blanked on the name.
That's a Tim Reese move right there now. You'll come up with it.
The number 1 pick.
Chase Burns?
Of last year's. 2 years ago, MLB. Nope, last year. Drew Jones.
Final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Who do you play for? I don't know that name. Drew Jones.
He got drafted out of high school to the Arizona Diamondbacks, but I'm pretty sure he's the son of a former MLB player.
Oh, this is Andrew Jones' son.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All
Drew
right.
Jones.
There we go.
And
so it's not a pitcher.
JD said he struck him out.
Okay.
That's his words, not mine.
Okay.
I'll have to research that.
Why would he lie?
You're right. I don't know why he'd lie.
There would be no reason other than to make himself look good. But I'm sure that's not what happened. I'm sure that's exactly what happened. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tyler Mendez. J.D. Price at the stretch with runners at first and third, and he promptly hits Tyler Mendez on the arm. Delivers his pitch's sidearm, and that's the second hit batter of the inning. First for J.D. Price, and the bases are now juiced for Alex Bemis, who was the shortstop tonight. He was the number 9 hitter yesterday as the DH, and he is back in the number 9 slot, but tonight he is the shortstop. Shows on the roster as a right-handed pitcher. There's a sidearm delivery at 80 miles an hour on the outside corner for a called strike. Our score sheets are going to look ugly right away here, Max. If we don't get us a do-dat double play off the bat of Alex Bemis. And that's grounded to the right side, and it's by Jackson Cawthorn into right field. 2 runs are going to score. Throw goes into third base, and the runner remains at second. So 2 more come in. That ball just got to the right of Jackson Cawthorn, who was playing in at first base. Bemis, who cleared the bases in yesterday's ball game in the 8th with a 3-run double. It's a 2-run single here, and we're back to the top of the lineup. Alex O'Neill bats from the left-hand side. Get the corrected tape out. He squares around the bunt. Takes a pitch outside. Got my white out already in the first inning. 6 runs have been put on the board by the Chillicothe Paints. Big lead out at second base, but he didn't go, and O'Neill swings over the top of, may have been a changeup there.
Howard's final line was an inning and a third, 4 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout.
J.D. Price delivers changeup outside. Mendez hopping off of second base, very active. Probably see him on the screen on PLTV. That center field camera comes inside, does Price, and misses off the plate. O'Neill lined the first pitch he saw off of Carson Howard down that left field line into the corner. Yes. Somebody down there in a red uniform is throwing one of those balls off of the wall down there. There's a called strike as O'Neill thought he had a walk.
And then tries to casually play off the practice swing after. But with J.D. Price, he talked about it. He loves to throw that inside sinker as a sidearm guy, and obviously for same-handed batters, that's going to be a little uncomfortable. And he hit the first one. When he gets that dialed in, it's a really uncomfortable at bat.
Ground ball to the right side. That'll roll foul. Gloved by Cawthorn in foul territory. He'll throw it back to J.D. Price. Jacob Rowald out in left field. Andrew Hunt in center. Joe Watkins in right. Aiden Gibson at third. He's played all over the diamond. Parker McDonald at short. Joey Parliament at second base, playing his second game with the Rhythm. Jackson Cawthorn at first, and Caden Wilkes behind the dish. High chopper going to be a tough play. Parliament gloves, throws quickly to first base and retires O'Neill. There is finally the second out. Runners move up to second and third. The high chopper. O'Neill runs well, but Parliament charged through on to Cawthorn at first base. Now Eric Colasso, who singled into center field, later came around to score, stands in. He swings at the first pitch, fouls that one off. AAA Autoglass foul ball off to the right side. Look out past the right field fence in foul territory and see the golf carts for the neighboring golf course parked out there underneath a pavilion. Sidearm delivery high and tight.
Nearly got him in on the hands.
He's got that ball that it rides back into the right-handers. As you're stepping toward the plate, and that one nearly hit him. That was a breaking pitch that he was able to get his lower half away from it, and he shook his head, did Colosso, and thinking, why didn't I let that hit me?
Yeah, those are the ones you do let them hit you on the right part of the body, and you'll just take your base. You'll like your on-base percentage a day later.
Colosso from Denison University looks at another called strike, and deuces are wild.
This is a guy who was a D3 player of the year last year, and the year before that he was the D3 newcomer of the year. Just a really touted guy at that level.
He slices one down the right field line. That will go foul. AAA autoglass foul ball. Information on Facebook regarding the injury to Carson Howard. Another slow breaking pitch that lands low and inside. We'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Runners at second and third, so they shouldn't be off with the pitch. The pitch is outside. Now the bases are loaded. Price's first walk of the ball game. He's faced 4 and 3 have reached. Hit by pitch, a single, ground out and a walk. As the Rhythm bullpen is active again. George Gomez, who struck out the first out, hits a high chopper too short. Parker McDonald waits back, drops the ball. Another run's going to come in, and the second run from second base. Alex Bemis never broke stride coming around third, and he comes in to score. That I would assume would be ruled an E6. Parker McDonald tried to make the grab. Let's see if they put an error on the board. Runners now at first and second, and this is a extremely ugly inning for the Rhythm. 8 have scored here in the bottom of the first inning. Felix Polanco swings and misses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits I have. They're still debating, it appears, as whether or not that's going to be a hit or an error.
I got 5 hits and an error.
Well, they have no errors up there on it. So it's questions whether or not they're considering that as a hit or an error. Cawthron over to the fence, and a catch is made by a young man on the other side of the fence. Problem is he's not wearing a Rhythm red jersey. He's wearing a nice Rhythm colored blue shirt, though. And he brought his glove to the ballpark and used it. As an error is put up on the board now, so that'll be an error on Parker McDonald. First error of the ball game for the Rhythm. Pitch a little bit up. So I hear debate going on next door regarding whether or not that was a hit or an error. That's going to be a hit that dribbles right into right field, charging hard as Watkins. Throw to the plate is not in time, and Colosso doesn't slide. He just runs straight on through, and there was another seeing eye hit. This one by Felix Polanco, who was Polanco'd in the first at-bat. He gets an RBI single.
I mean,
that's
I'm
an
confused.
unearned run.
It feels like, I don't know if Caden Wilkes doesn't have a glove at home or what's going on, because it feels like he's putting the tags on. It feels like the timing's right.
Another pitch as misses inside has got to get the count changed up on the scoreboard. Now the 14th batter to come to the plate for the Paints, 9-0. We need to hit the reset button. There's a high chopper up the middle. McDonald's going to have to throw to first, and he will, to retired Riley. A 6-3 finally ends the inning, and that may be one of the uglier innings that the Full Count Rhythm have ever seen in their history. That's a lot of runs, 9. I believe 8 of those were earned. On
7 of
2, 4, 6. Yeah, you might be, actually, you're right. It's probably closer to 7. We'll have to figure it out. They got 6 hits up on the board, and there was 1 error, and 2 runners left aboard. 9-0 after 1. That's a touchdown and missed the extra point and a field goal. We're playing football. The problem is we're not, and it takes 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs for the Rhythm to get back in it. Let's keep it right here. We will thank some additional sponsors of Full Count Rhythm this year, United Machine and Tool. Jeremy Todd, as they have been longtime supporters of Full Count Rhythm. You can get a hold of them on the net at unitedmachineandtool.net. Of course, Corson with a K, Fire and Security. Grant Edwards, one of the original members of Full Count Ministry Board. Grant Edwards over at Corson Fire and Security, where they are protecting life and property since 1946. Absolute Wellness, Corey and Jennifer Crowley, looking at their website today. They're located over at 101 Tennessee Way. If you're not familiar with that, it's right off of, I think that's Volunteer Drive, that will connect you with New Shackle Island Road and Old Shackle Island Road. And on the opposite end of the bowling alley. But they have chiropractic care over there, spine decompression. They also have a gym down there. I'm going to have to go by there when we get back this next week and get them to give me a tour of their place. They're a new sponsor for Full Count Rhythm this year. We appreciate them and all of our sponsors. As the Rhythm finally get back to the plate here in the bottom of the, or top of the second inning, Lawson T, Jacob Rowald, and Jackson Cothran to face Garrett Helzel, who's delivered 2 pitches here to T, and 1 ball and 1 strike. He's the DH today. There's that hum back.
Unfortunately, I just heard it. The lights just came on. It's not a coincidence.
So
we got the best detective on the case to my right, and he figured it out.
Wilson, my son, texted me and said, I don't know if you know this, but there's a hum on the broadcast. And we're trying to figure it out, and the hum is coming from the lights that are here underneath the roof. Backhanded, and the throw on to first base by Bemis. The shortstop, and T is down. Tried to sneak one through that 5.5 hole. Polanco dove for it, did not come up with it. But Alex Bemis was there, backhanded and strong throw to first base. Got Lawson T for out number 1. Now Jacob Rowald, yesterday's Frosted Luau player of the game from Bellarmine University, up in, or down in Louisville, as we are now up in Chillicothe, Ohio.
Man, what a play that was by Bemis to take away that hit.
2 balls, no strikes now to Rowald. Wilson says, just leave the lights off. Well, the lights are for the people sitting in the stadium. They're not for us. I don't think I can hardly tell the people, hey, could you turn those lights off, because we don't want to hear that hum all night long. Fouled off to the left side. AAA Auto Glass foul ball.
Well, Jacob Rowald was our Luau player of the game last night, and Frosted Luau, that is. And he had a really big home run to opposite field, kind of ignited the offense last night. Let's see if he can do it here.
He does not. Swing and a miss on a ball in the turf, and he's down on strikes. There's the first strikeout of the ball game for Garrett Helzel.
For the Rhythm from Ohio University, first baseman number 25.
Apparently I got a couple of my children's that are listening in. Oh, Delaney. My daughter says she's been watching all game, but Wilson gets the shout out. Well, Delaney, he texted me. You did not. I couldn't see that you're watching. First pitch to Cawthron misses, as does pitch number 2, Jackson Cawthron. Montlow State for 2 years from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and then he made the trek up to Athens, Ohio at Ohio University. Just up the road from Chillicothe here, he looks at a called strike.
Well, when you're in a game like this, the only way you can keep your head in it is by just focusing on what you can control, which is your own at-bat. Trying to string things along, you know?
Got 1 hit. Next thing is we got to get 2. Chillicothe scored their 9, mostly on just dribblers that just got through, or high choppers, or there was 1 well-hit ball first pitch of the ball game. Actually, that double by Moneill and then the single, couple singles up the middle as Jackson Cawthron draws a walk. That's a second walk by Helzel. That'll bring up Parker McDonald, who's wearing the number 23 today. He went off and left his red number 15 jersey back at the house, and he looks at ball 1. A late arriver to the Rhythm, but got here after a couple games. There's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Parker staying at the host home of Chandler Phelps. He's got a few trips to Nicaragua with Full Count Ministries under his belt. There's a line drive out to right field. That'll get down for a base hit in front of Tyler Mendez. And the Rhythm have, once again, a 2-out couple of base runners. Just like in the first inning, the first 2 were retired, and then a single and a walk put runners at first and second, but a ground out ended the inning. Back to the top of the lineup we go.
I mean, getting your leadoff guy back up in the second inning isn't bad on paper, but when you look on the other side of the scoreboard and we had to move everything over as the paint's batted around, it really puts everything into a different perspective.
Now they've got 7 hits on the board up there, but they still got an error. So we'll have to see how that scoring occurred as a called strike.
You know, normally I wouldn't be confident in my scoring, but now that I take pride in it and Tim has taught me, now I feel where he's coming from. Because you want to be right so bad. I mean, I got 6 hits.
Well, I'm guessing that they ruled a hit and an error, but the runner didn't go to second. That pitch down in the artificial turf, as the entire field here is at VA Memorial Stadium. It's all artificial. No grass to be found. Another pitch down low. It's Joe Watkins who grounded out to first. 0 for 1. Appreciate my children listening in. They didn't want to listen to me much when they were growing up. There's ground ball right back to Helzel. 1 hop, and he'll glove and underhand toss to Colton Back. Not Colton Bean, but Colton Back for the final out. So Rhythm once again leave 2 aboard after collecting 1 hit, no runs, and no errors by the Chillicothe Paints. We'll take a break and be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression, and IV therapy. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to absolute wellness starts here.
Compliant with code. If you're a facility manager or building owner, you've heard the term plenty of times. At Corson Fire and Security, we work to keep buildings compliant with the most demanding code of all, our own. We've been protecting people and property since before most of today's codes were even written. And what we've learned along the way makes us the best choice to partner with for the future. Corson Fire and Security, celebrating 70 years. Learn more at corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Hello to Lucy Drew, watching from Gallatin, Tennessee tonight, along with Aunt Dee Dee. She says she's been here since the start. Jimmy Price has checked in, as has the Nurembergers.
First pitch strike from J.D. Price, and they have adjusted the scoreboard. It just says 6 hits now.
Okay.
I think that was a typo.
All right, well, there we go. Confusing. There's a line drive, and that will get down off the bat of Trevor Coltonback. He's 2 for 2. Did not start yesterday's game, but he is 2 for 2 in 2 innings. Had a 2-run single in the first, and starts off the second with a drive that 1 hops out to Jacob Rowald. Okay, ahead down for Rowald that his grandparents are from Hecker, Illinois and Waterloo, Illinois. So what I want to know is New Athens, Illinois, which set of grandparents? I'm going to go with the ones that he said were from Hecker, Illinois, because we have a grandpa and a grandma from Hecker and a grandma from Waterloo, Illinois. That's my final answer. Ty Hatfield fouls one down to third baseline. He also singled in the first, one of those 6 singles. Now it's 7. He just gets a piece of that one and fouls it straight back. Was our on-deck man, Tyler Mendez, not even close to the on-deck circle. He's at about, what would you say, 5 o'clock on the dial from home plate. Not where he's supposed to be. Pitches down in the turf, and Wilkes gets a body on it. Coltonback remains at first base. Count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, in the old days, especially with nobody on base, that pitcher might throw a pitch right at the on-deck, the guy who's standing in an on-deck, if he's standing right there. He's moved a little bit closer to the on-deck circle. 1-2 pitch, grounded up the middle, and that will get into center field. McDonald could not get to that one. And the first 2 have reached here in the second. J.D. Price back out on the mound. Now Tyler Mendez, who was hit by a pitch, he was the first batter that J.D. Price faced after coming in for the injured Carson Howard.
And Mendez is a sophomore from Keene University. He's from Woodbridge, New Jersey. And I got some fun stuff on him more during this at-bat.
Well, we'll have at least another pitch as he lines that one off of the concrete. That's like a concrete curb that's in front of the fence that somewhat guards the seated area just on the other side of the Rhythm dugout. 0-1 pitch coming, and he's going to get hit by a pitch again. Somebody get the target off of Tyler Mendez. What do you got on Mendez?
Well, it's not that he has a magnet for a body, but when asked what his favorite ice cream topping was, he said, if it has Oreo, it's for me. And his special talent, he can eat cheese day and night.
Now we have the trainer back out, and he's going to check on Caden Wilkes, who apparently took a little piece of that one. I don't think we have the trainer's name on their roster. Do you have? Let's see.
I don't see anything about the trainer.
No?
Man, unsung heroes.
It's the second time he's been out on the field, but Caden Wilkes, he's a tough guy. He's taking his beatings already this year behind the plate. Now bases loaded, nobody out. And Alex Bemis, who's 2 for his last 2 against Rhythm pitching, driven in 5 runs. Single in this game and a double in yesterday's game. J.D. Price delivers a pitch outside for ball one.
He wanted it. It was just off the edge.
Bemis 5'11", 210 pounds from Gannon University, Monroe, Ohio. We found out yesterday as Caden Wilkes takes another foul ball off of a body part. Monroe is between Cincinnati and Dayton on I-75, just past the 50-foot Jesus. I believe Tina Stewart gave us that intel yesterday. Swinging a drive out to center field. That will drop for a base hit. Charging and throwing to third base wildly is Andrew Hunt as 2 runs come in. Alex Bemis now with 4 RBIs. Hunt surprised that he didn't try to throw that one home as the ball stayed up in the air a little bit. Ty Hatfield at second base had to kind of hold up a bit, but Hunt was going to try to keep the runner at second. Tyler Mendez, and he does in fact do that, but the throw was way up the line. And that will end the evening for J.D. Price.
And how about Alex O'Neill coming up for his 3rd plate appearance in the 2nd inning?
Well, that'll happen when you put 11 on the board and still no outs here in the 2nd. 11 runs, 9 hits, and runners are now at 1st and 2nd. 2 runs in, 3 hits in the inning. As J.D. Price will end up going 2/3 of an inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And right now, 5 runs with 2 runners on base are his responsibility. He walked 1 batter. No strikeouts and hit 2 batters. And the 3rd pitcher of the ball game and the 2nd Safeware call to the bullpen. It's going to be James Fordham. There we go. It's the brain, the synapses are working now. James Fordham. I don't have the numbers yet, but
number 29, I believe.
I did look at the face, and another Georgia Southwestern right-hander, 6 foot, 195 pound sophomore from Bleckley County High School in Chester, Georgia. He's an exercise science major down there. Georgia Southwestern located at or in Americus, Georgia. I did check that the other day. He's the son of Jonathan and Dean Ann Fordham, brother to J.R. and Jet, grandson of Papa and Meemaw in Cochran, Georgia, and Poppy in Cedar Crossing, Georgia. He's staying at the host home of Eric and Gay Sutley, I believe, along with J.D. Price, and his mentor is Austin Smith.
In 2024 at Georgia Southwestern, he had a 6.35 ERA, 11 1/3 innings pitched, 18 walks to 11 strikeouts.
Comes in with nobody out, runners at 1st and 2nd. Trying to not allow any inherited runners to score. That'll be a tall task as a leadoff batter, Alex O'Neill, steps in. At the set position and delivers. First pitch swinging. O'Neill pops one off the left side, a AAA autoglass foul ball. From Florida State College at Jacksonville, that's in Florida. His hometown, Tampa, Florida. 5'9", 175 pounds. A rising sophomore. He's 1 for 2 in the ballgame, scored a run. Looks at a called strike at the hollow of the knees, he says. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, this is not the situation you want to come in to pitch at, but at least Fordham's able to feel comfortable throwing strikes.
O'Neill came in as the leading average batter for the Paints. He came in with a .412 batting average. Tied for the team lead in hits with 7. He and Eric Colasso. He hit his 3rd double of the year. They got 3 guys coming into this game that were batting .400 or higher. popped up to the left side. That's in foul territory, but it will fall right before the bullpen for the Rhythm down the left field line. Jacob Rowald and Parker McDonald gave chase, but could not get there in time. Rhythm with their third pitcher of the ball game.
So far, they've only gotten 3 outs as a pitching staff.
2 runs in the inning, 2 more runners on base. Changed up there, and another foul ball. Rowald gives chase. This will get into the stands, though. Down there, the picnic areas where the Rhythm and Pinks players were fed after the ball game yesterday. It's Winning Wednesday here at VA Memorial Stadium. Buy a scorecard and you might win some cash or gas cards from Valero. There's a ground ball into the hole. That will get into left field for a base hit. Runner's going to move up to third base. Throw goes into second, and runner's going to be at the corners. And another run comes in. That run will be charged to J.D. Price. Bemis moves over to third. Alex Monil, 2 for 3 in the ball game. And that is basically a ground ball that gets into left field because Parker McDonald's playing up the middle.
I mean, just such interesting hitting so far for the Paints, as that one's inside for the first pitch to Colosso, but it's been the right place at the right time for the Paints offensively.
It's 10 hits and 19 batters. Eric Colosso looks at another pitch down low. The count goes 2 balls and no strikes. And right about now, Rhythm players probably thinking, this is not our night. Colosso singled and scored and walked and scored in the first. Runner goes from first. Pitch is fouled off and over the roof or to the side of the roof. AAA Autoglass foul ball. Do they fix roofs, or do we have to call Steve Barrios over at the roof store for that one? Maybe that's not a AAA Autoglass foul ball.
I mean, you have to.
That might be a roof store foul ball.
If it's a roof store foul ball, and you ask that question, you have to pay for the transportation up here to Chillicothe.
Barrios has got money, like going out of style. 2 balls and a strike down in the turf. Ball 3. James Fordham's second appearance, first in relief. Big hop-off lead by Monil, but he stays. Popped up in the infield parliament over toward the line. He'll make the catch, 1 step onto the green field turf, and he'll run it back in to the infield. There is the first out of the second inning. And coming to the plate is George Gomez. Struck out and reached on an error. And a high chopper to McDonald at shortstop. He tried to glove and throw quickly, but dropped it out of the glove. His throw was then late to first base. They charged him with an error. Another pop up to the right side. That'll get out of play. And young man with the glove and the blue shirt is off after that one, but it will fall and then hop over what is, I believe, a hitting cage just on the other side of the covered area here. Count goes 0-1. Rhythm looking for their first do-dat double play. Fastball misses outside. Fordham, 3 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. Walked 5, struck out 6. There's a slow roller to the right side. Cawthorn gloves, and he will flip to Fordham. And a close play at first base. Sliding in at first is George Gomez, but Fordham gets there quickly enough. Cawthorn's underhand toss was a little bit slow. I would say Fordham might have been a little bit slow to get to the base too, but they do get Gomez. Another run scores. That's an RBI ground out by Gomez.
So the final line for J.D. Price, I believe, will be 7 runs, 5 of them earned.
And O'Neill moves down to second base. First pitch to Polanco is outside the zone. 4 runs in the inning. Swing and a miss. Fordham is ahead in the count. That hadn't happened a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was 0-2. Ball and a strike. He's not ahead. Runner from second takes off, and the pitch is lined out in right field. That'll score another run. Throw to the plate by Watkins is cut off. Polanco goes the way of where the pitch was thrown. Drives in the 14th run of the ball game. First 5 who came to the plate in this inning all reached and have now all scored. Now the 9th batter of the inning, Cole Riley, stands in. 14 runs, 11 hits.
And for my scorebook's sake, I'm really hoping that this is the 3rd out of the inning.
Fordham looked quickly over at first base after delivering that pitch. It was low and outside. Not sure what he was looking at. Maybe whether or not Polanco was off. Swing and a miss. Now moves the ball. A strike. Riley walked and drove in a run with bases loaded in the first, as well as grounded out to end the inning. Getting his 3rd at-bat of the ball game. Fouls that one straight back. AAA Autoglass foul ball. Thanks to Dylan Doris over there. Dylan, if you're listening, expect a call from Zach Williams. His wife Maggie picked up a rock on her drive back from Franklin, where she works down there with the DeMarini family at their corporate headquarters. It's not the DeMarini Corporation. It's another corporation that is not a sponsor of Full Count Rhythm, so
no
not
free
name them.
Advertisements.
Not
unless
getting I
by
know
Tim
you.
Reese.
Not unless I know you. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Only 1 on. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw down to second is into center field. Hunt charges to throw on to third base, but that will be a stolen base. And the second error of the ball game. For some reason, it looked like Joey Parliament did not want to catch that one. Maybe he couldn't, but he did not. And it went into center field. Now a runner at third base with 2 outs in the Full Count Ministries full count to Cole Riley. It may be spelled Rail, or Rayleigh, but he will draw the walk, and there you go.
I'm gonna need
Max,
that.
you're gonna need some
I'm
white
gonna
out.
need that white out right about now.
And here it is, folks. Nice little special. Do you know how to use it?
I'm gonna wait. Hey, but I got my cheeseburger,
you got your cheeseburger
about 5
plane.
innings early.
You got your cheeseburger plane. First walk of the ball game there by James Fordham, puts runners at the corners. He spikes one in the dirt. It gets by Wilkes, and the runner's going to come home from third base, but the runner at first does not go to second. Wild pitch scores the 15th run of the ball game. Polanco, he saw an opportunity and he took it. Trevor Colton back is 2 for 2 and scored 2, drove in 2. It would be very unusual if all of a sudden Riley down at first base took off to try to steal there, wasn't it? That one is lined down the right field line. That will go foul. And looks like there's some action in the Paints bullpen, but that might just be Helzel who's trying to stay loose. He's had 2 long innings with his team at the plate. As Colton back looks at ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Long drive down the left field line, but it will hook foul.
That ball was going to go about 390 feet home run if it was fair. But it wasn't.
Paints have 1 home run on the season. Samuel Fabian, who went 0 for 3 in yesterday's game and 3 strikeouts, is the only long ball on the stat sheet that I have in front of me. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Colton Back. That's all one name, compound name. Our family is well known, but for a young man whose name is Colton Bean, and that's his first and his last name. That one's lined out to right field, and that will drop in front of Watkins. Might have been the time to go ahead and come in and try to make a diving play.
You got nothing to lose.
To get your pitcher out of the inning, but that one might have been a tougher play than it looked from here, but it is a 3 for 3 night for Colton Back in 2 innings. Runners at first and second as Riley appears as though he's going to go station to station. She stayed at second. Ty Hatfield with an opportunity. He steps in. Yeah, he's 2 for 2 and scored 2 as well. Question's been asked. What is the run rule? I believe it's a 10-run rule after 7. We are headed in that direction as Hatfield looks at a called strike. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Not a pretty game if you're a Full Count Rhythm fan. (15-0). Breaking pitch misses outside by James Fordham. Second pitcher in the inning, 3rd pitcher for the Rhythm in this ball game. Jimmy Craig working the plate here, and that one's lifted out to right field. That'll get down. He's going to go ahead and try to score. Cothran's throw to the plate is late. Guessing Riley was tired of running the bases there, and he's going to get Hatfield an RBI. He'll score the 16th run of the ball game. As both Colton Back and Hatfield are 3 for 3 each. Might see if there's some position players that want to get on the mound today. I'm not sure.
That's where you get all those fun clips in the MLB of guys like Anthony Rizzo striking out Freddie Freeman.
Yeah. Tyler, what's his name? Darno. That one's fouled straight over our head. A AAA auto glass foul ball. Is it Tyler Darno? Is that the catcher for the Braves? Wilson.
Travis Darno.
Travis, there you go. Travis, never mind. Stand down, Dub. Travis Darno. He got hit by a pitch by somebody who was a position player.
Oh, and he pretended to fall down.
He pretended like he got
those are the best moments in baseball, man.
Yeah.
Why it's my favorite sport.
Tyler Mendez has been hit twice. He's tired of being hit. He wants to hit. He looks at it called strike 2 by Fordham.
Man, get this guy his Oreo milkshake after the game for taking 2 on the body.
From 2 different pitchers. The 0-2 pitch catches the outside corner, but in the left-hand batter's box, apparently. Caden Wilkes thought that might be a 16-0 called strike 3, but apparently not. Ball and 2 strike pitch coming from Fordham with runners at first and second. And that pitch goes high and off the glove of Caden Wilkes. That'll be another wild pitch. Runners will move up. This is where I put the parentheses around the 1 wild pitch and show wild pitch to Colton back, getting him to third. That way you can look back and see that it was only 1 wild pitch, not 2 of them. Mendez looking at a 2-ball, 2-strike count. The pitch swung on and missed. There's a Roof Store strikeout to end the inning. That's a bunch of runs and a bunch of hits. 16-0. Count that up. 16 minus 9. That means a 7-run inning. And I can just go right out on a limb and say this is the biggest lead any opponent has ever had against the Full Count Rhythm after 2 innings of work. We'll be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression, and IV therapy. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to Absolute Wellness starts here.
Compliant with code. If you're a facility manager or building owner, you've heard the term plenty of times. At Corson Fire and Security, we work to keep buildings compliant with the most demanding code of all, our own. We've been protecting people and property since before most of today's codes were even written. And what we've learned along the way makes us the best choice to partner with for the future. Corson Fire and Security, celebrating 70 years. Learn more at Corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Tim Reese and Max Keller back for the top of the 3rd inning. And we are at a middle school football game as Chillicothe Paints have scored 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point extra points to go up 16-0. And Garrett Helsel back out for inning number 3 as we are an hour and 12 minutes into this. And he's just getting to pitch for the 3rd time. And facing Andrew Hunt, who looks at a called strike on the 2nd pitch he sees. Helsel working quickly. He's given up 1 hit, walked 2, and faced 10 in 2 innings. It's another called strike. Andrew Hunt grounded out to 3rd base in his first plate appearance. Fouled off the facade of the roof here, so AAA auto glass off of the roof. And quickly again as Helsel's chucking another one in there and Hunt's fouling another one off. Another AAA auto glass foul ball. This has been a different ball game here for the Rhythm out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Facing the Chillicothe Paints in game 2 of the 3-game set. We'll be back here tomorrow night at VA Memorial Stadium for the conclusion of the 3-game set. And the Rhythm are going to look like they're going to try to get 1 of the 3 as Hunt swings and foul tips that one into the mitt for strike 3. 2nd strikeout of the ball game by Helsel. First out. And we did not go according to our plan here. I'm absolutely vapor locked on our timing here. Max Keller will bring you the 4th through the 9th or the rest of the game, whatever that might be. Originally had scheduled Max to start play-by-play here in the 3rd inning, and I totally forgot about that.
You know what? I forgot about it too. I don't blame you.
I said that he'd only given up 1 hit. He's actually given up 2 hits, and one of them was an infield variety to Aiden Gibson, who's at the plate now, looking at a ball and a strike. He had an infield single just through the box. Swings and misses at that fastball at 90 miles an hour on the Stadium Jugs gun. AAA Autoglass, foul ball. Pretty decent amount of space between home plate and the backstop here, so if a ball gets by, you definitely can move up 90 feet without any problem. Hunt pops one up to the right side. This will be playable for Colton, back in fair territory at first base. Make out number 2, and just according to the first 2 innings, exactly what's happened for full count. First 2 have been retired. Then action in hitter number 3 and hitter number 4. Then hitter number 5 has gone down.
Aiden Gibson just chased one that really ended up far outside the plate. Great movement there late from Helsel.
Joey Parliament looks at a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Joey, not the tallest guy on the team here, and might be one of the shorter ones, but excellent hitter, 5'9". He grounds one, and that knocks the glove off of Helsel, and he picks the ball up, leaves the glove down there, and throws a strike to first base for his first 1-2-3 inning, and another assist to Garrett Helsel. And once again, the Rhythm will go back out on defense, where they've spent quite a bit of time in this ball game. We'll take a break. Be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
At Country Financial, we're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through town. We're a part of your community and help support the programs that make our neighborhoods thrive. We take the time to get to know our clients. We know that every situation is unique, and our goal is to understand yours so that we can help you be confident about your financial security and your future. Call your local Country Financial representative, William Stiles, today at 615-824-7020 to talk about how we can help ensure the future you're dreaming of is something you can proudly own, no matter what it looks like.
We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Tim Reese, Max Keller, first broadcast intern for Full Count Rhythm here on the second road trip of the season for Full Count. 2 games in Marion, Illinois against the Thrillville Thrillbillies, where the Rhythm went 1-1, and now looking to fall 0-2 on this road trip as the 4th pitcher of the ball game for the Rhythm coming in. A Safeware call to the bullpen, and a familiar face for Full Count Rhythm fans. He's back for year number 2 as Aaron Hash, a right-hander from Bellarmine University up in Louisville. Will face 9-1-2. Hash, I believe this is his 3rd appearance of the year, and he has had a tough time of it in the first 2. 6 foot, 200-pound rising senior from Campbellsville, Kentucky. First pitch to Bemis, misses inside. Bemis is 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs. You know what he can't do? He did his first 2 times up. He can't get 2 RBIs in this plate appearance. Max?
It's not possible
just
unless
can't
Tim
do it.
goes out there and stands on first.
I don't think this headset
And
reaches
if
that far.
if Tim got in motion, I think he could score from first. Ball in the gap.
Max, you can keep talking like that, but I don't have the ability to write you a check, okay?
I'm over here as our good buddy Bob had mentioned in the Facebook chat, I'm over here trying to do some intense math on this scorebook, and I can tell my math teachers that I did practice over the summer.
That'd be good. Hash. This is in the turf. Backhanded by Caden Wilkes. See if I can figure out how the Rhythm pitchers have finished. I'm just going to go to the scorebook. Ground ball foul down the third base line. That'll get down to the bullpen.
I believe Fordham, I know he had a 1 inning pitch, 4 hits allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and I'm still coming up with that run number. But if I do my math correctly here, he came in with 13. J.D. Price and Howard are responsible for the first 13, so he's responsible for 3, and I believe all of them are earned.
Swing and a miss, and Aaron Hash comes in and gets the first out of the inning. That's something that hadn't happened in this ball game yet, and that's a roof store strikeout to begin the bottom of the third. Bemis goes down swinging.
Number 1, Alex Monneal.
Alex Monneal, he's 2 for 3, scored twice, driven in a run. James Fordham, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. He likes going down that left field line, and that will just go foul. There's no call made by the home plate umpires, but our base umpire's looking in. He's not seeing a foul ball called by the home plate umpire. Still standing behind home plate, or behind our catcher. It didn't hit that far foul. That's the second time I've seen since we've been here that
you gotta
a home plate umpire's not voicing what's happening.
Jimmy Craig understands, when you got all those players out there in front of you on the ice, you got to communicate where you want them to be when you're trying to keep pucks from getting out of the net.
Left-handed swinging Monneal looks at a ball in the turf. Now count is 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Having problems with the video feed, are we? Let's see if I can. Well, I'm going to have to get back to it in just a second. Not that I can fix it. If you have trouble with this video feed, it's really not that big a deal. As that pitch fouled into the Paints dugout. Count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aaron Hash, the new right-hander on the mound. Played for Full Count last year, the Hoptown Hoppers, and he gets another roof store strikeout. Breaking pitch on the outside corner, catches Monneal looking. That is 2 batters and 2 strikeouts. I'll bring up Eric Colasso. Aaron is the son of Garen and Tammy Hash, a brother to Austin, grandson of Poppy and Mimi in Campbellsville, Kentucky. He gets a called strike to Colasso, the right-handed hitting center fielder for the Paints, who's 1 for 2. Scored twice. Only 1 batter in the lineup who has not scored a run. And he's on deck. That's George Gomez. And Hash ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Staying in the host home of Brian and Susan Truitt. One of our great host homes. Truitt's also welcoming Jacob Rowald as a 1-hopper right back to Hash. He's going to jog on over to his buddy Jackson Cothran, an underhand for a 1, 2, 3 inning for the Rhythm. And no runs, no hits, no errors. It's nice to say finally in the home half of the third. 16-0. We're probably less than 1/3 of the way through this ball game. When we come back, Hurricane Max will be on the call for the rest of the ball game. You're listening to the Full Count Rhythm Broadcast Network.
Score home run deals from your hometown dealer. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We've got Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every new vehicle comes with Rhythm's exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles at no additional charge. We've got great deals on deck, so step up to the plate. Find your new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram at rhythmcdjr.com. Feel the rhythm, love the ride.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Welcome back here for some Full Count Rhythm Baseball. I'm Max Keller alongside Tim Reese. Right now, the Chillicothe Paints lead 16-0 against your Full Count Rhythm. And up to bat will be Caden Wilkes here in the top of the fourth inning. The Rhythm have 2 hits so far, no runs. They've left 4 on base. And the pitcher on the mound, Garrett Helsel, remains on the mound and delivers a first pitch ball. Helsel has been efficient so far today, and he hasn't had to stress too much. The 1-0 goes in there for a strike. Count goes even to 1-1. Helsel is a big lefty on the mound, standing at 6'5". He kicks, fires, and hits the umpire in the lower leg. Hopefully Jimmy Craig is okay. Looks to be okay. Catcher got crossed up there.
He's probably wearing some steel-toed umpire shoes there.
The 2-1 nearly hits Wilkes, and he'll have to readjust before stepping back into the batter's box. Wilkes so far today grounded out to the pitcher's mound. He hits one right back up to the pitcher's mound, but this time it gets through for a single. This time he found the spot to the right side of the mound in between second base and the second baseman for a single, and don't look now. The Rhythm have a base runner with nobody out.
It's a lead-off base hit. That hadn't happened all game long. Caden Wilkes keeping that .500 batting average going.
He's been phenomenal so far to start the year. He's going to pass the baton to Lawson T, who takes a first pitch right down the middle for strike 1 at 78 miles an hour. That was the changeup from Helsel, who has the glove at the chest, fires home, blows one through the bat of T at 86 miles an hour. Count moves to 0-2.
Wilkes, who's on down at first base, he's in what you would call a contract year. He's in the portal, so he's looking for a new home.
T shakes the bat over his shoulder, and there's a pitch in the turf that bounces up off the turf and will advance the runner on a wild pitch.
That's what you call a spike right there. That ball hit maybe in the green artificial turf before it got to the brown. That is the circle around home plate. That ball hit in the turf, one-hopped and off of Ty Hatfield, the catcher, and he had no idea where that ball was.
Lawson T was a freshman at Lipscomb University. I'm a Nashville kid. Got the academy drilled in my brain, and he fouls one off here. That's a AAA auto glass foul ball. He went to Lipscomb University in his last year. Did not play as a freshman. He's DHing tonight. He's 0 for 1. Runner stands on second. That's Caden Wilkes, who got there on a wild pitch. The 1-2 swung on and missed. That's the third strikeout of the game for Garrett Helsel. Comes through a swinging bat of Lawson T, who takes a stroll back to the dugout. And that'll bring up the lefty Jacob Rowald, who homered last night, with one out here in the top of the fourth inning. The Chillicothe Paints batted around and then some in the first 2 innings to score their 16 runs off of 13 hits. Helsel's first pitch to Rowald is in there for strike 1 on the left corner.
His mother Kelly is listening in, watching on Facebook. from Valmeyer, Illinois.
The 0-1 is swung on and missed, and right there, Helsel pulled the chair out from underneath on a 79-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch to get ahead in the account 0-2. Big number 15 out there on the mound, brings that glove to his chest, kicks and deals. This one's fouled back near the paints dugout. It's a AAA auto glass foul ball. Make sure to stick around at the end of the game for the Full Count Ministries verse of the game. Make sure you send those in if you got them.
treesports@gmail.com. Hey, look, LinkedIn sent me a couple emails.
The 0-2 is in the dirt, or the turf. Just going to have to drill that in my brain.
You'll get there.
Walk around and ask my parents to just say, what was that thrown into? And I'm going to have to say, turf.
You're staying at the host home of
the Keller family.
The Keller family, that's right.
The 1-2 is
on
the inside corner, and that'll be a strikeout looking for Jacob Rowald. Back-to-back Ks to get the first 2 outs of the inning here in the top of the 4th. Garrett Helsel sure appreciates that call. And that'll bring up Jackson Cawthron, who tonight is playing first base for the Rhythm. He walked in his first appearance. The first pitch to him is on that left corner for a strike, and I'll tell you what, for Garrett Helsel, there's nothing more calming than looking up at the scoreboard and seeing that you have a 16-run cushion. Really frees you up on the mound. He kicks and deals, and that's a swinging strike from Jackson Cawthron on a pitch that was low and out of the zone.
Cawthron, a psychology major at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, not far away from Chillicothe here.
Cawthron keeps those hands up by his helmet, looks at one in the turf. Count moves to 2-2, I believe. Just 1-2.
Haven't changed on a scoreboard. I thought he had a ball as
I
well.
thought so too. And then, all of a sudden, that's a big deal for us commentators. We have feelings too. We don't want to doubt ourselves. The Rhythm with a runner on second, trying to put a dent in this lead. Cawthron fouls one back. That's a AAA auto glass foul ball. Soft dribbler that goes straight to the man on deck, Parker McDonald.
Cawthron played in 34 games for the Bobcats, started 31 of them. Hit 32 hits, 7 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs. Hit .278 as the number 2 catcher at first, but then became the starter toward the end of the year.
The pitch to Cawthron is bounced in front of the plate, and not sure if that's a 2-2 count or a 3-2 count. Scoreboard still is going with 2-2, so we'll go with it.
Wait a minute, Max. Wait a minute. Did you just say 3-2?
Uh-oh.
I've already counseled you about that.
Well, you have to give me a free pass, considering I don't know if this is a full count ministry.
But we can't even say 3-2 here.
No, not allowed.
If the score is 3-2, we
hit straight to the shortstop, thrown on to first, and Alex Bemis will get out of the inning with Cawthron rolling over. So the Rhythm get 1 hit, no runs, leave 1 on base, no errors, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, where I will not make that mistake again. Don't go anywhere.
No more 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's anything that's 3 and 2 is full count. If you want to know why that's the case, we'll keep it right here. A 3-2 count, you have to make a decision, and that's what full count is all about, is having to make a decision about where you stand for Jesus, honestly. God's the creator of the heavens and the earth, and he will not grow tired or weary. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. That's found out of the book of Isaiah in the Old Testament. but he sent his sacrifice for a reason, and that sacrifice was his son. And that's the decision that every person, every soul has to make, is what do we believe about the son that God sent? And that's why full count. You have to make a decision when there's a full count pitch coming, and we all have to make a decision about Jesus, as we have a new first baseman. I believe that's Brett Von Dolen, right?
Yep,
okay.
Coming into the game for Jackson Cawthorn, who I don't know if he moved anywhere.
Let's see.
He might have moved behind the plate, but I know it looks like it's still going to be Caden Wilkes behind the plate.
That is.
So, looks like Cawthorn comes out of the game.
Aaron Hash still on the rubber for the Rhythm. Brett Von Dolen from MTSU. He's a rising sophomore there.
Makes sense. Cawthorn just was the last out of the top of the fourth inning, and we know that Von Dolen plays more first base. So that is a substitution made by the coaching staff here at full count. The Rhythm trails 16-0, and here is the first pitch, hit high in the air, deep to left field. Will it stay in the park? It will, about 4 feet in front of the wall, and played cleanly by Jacob Rowald, who, to be honest with you, had it read perfectly off the bat.
He's playing fairly deep for the number 3 hole hitter, George Gomez, who's now 0 for 4. That's what you hate. There's 16 runs and 13 hits up on the board, and you're sitting there wearing an 0 for 4 collar. He does have an RBI and a ground out, but that's small consolation when your teammates are 2 for 3 or 3 for 3.
The first pitch to Felix Polanco is yanked outside for a ball. Aaron Hash on the mound for the Rhythm has done a good job since he got in the game.
He's retired 4 straight.
And this pitch is inside for a ball, 2-0. Yep, he came in, got 2 strikeouts to start his outing, and has not allowed a base runner yet. The 2-0 down the middle for a strike. A nice hook shape on that breaking ball, 76 miles an hour down the middle to Polanco. The 2-1 hits Polanco in the shoulder, and he kind of shakes it off, drops the bat, and gets ready to go to first. But that one might have gotten him in an awkward spot because it wasn't the fastest pitch in the world, but sometimes you get hit in the wrong spot. Maybe you were sore there before the game and stings a little bit more.
Well, he just threw off 3 different protective devices, maybe 2 plus a batting glove, but that might have hit just above the elbow guard there as he's rubbing his left arm. It may have got him on that tricep, and there's some pretty sensitive spots right there on that upper arm.
Well, I took one exercise physiology class as the first pitch is inside to Cole Riley.
How'd you do in that exercise class?
Talking to the other guy.
All right. Tim, our PA guy, interrupting our play-by-play. It's okay, Tim. It's okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes. We're here to help you anyway. You've been very hospitable to us. I want to know how to pronounce Von Dolen.
The 1-0 was inside to make the count 2-0 with a runner on first, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. That one just inside. Count goes to 3-0, and
Hash is crowding Riley.
yeah, Hash is going to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for a strike here.
Riley, one of 2 players who do not have a hit.
And he fouls one off to the right side. That's a AAA auto glass foul ball.
The announcer jinx, as they're going to say, as I say that. Now he's going to get a base hit, and everybody's going to blame me.
Well, I don't know if I'd blame you. I mean, he's just a good ball player. He had 7 home runs and 19 RBIs at Virginia Military Institute in 2024. The pitch he sees is high and inside. He'll walk. Runners on first and second with 1 out.
Two freebies here from Aaron Hash after getting Gomez fly out to lead off the inning.
First official walk from Aaron Hash. He also has hit a batter. Trevor Coltenbach now comes up to bat. He has 3 singles on the day, and he scored 2 runs. He swings at the first pitch and drills it to the right fielder, who is right in position. Joe Watkins throws into the infield and keeps the runners where they're at first and second. So that's a line out to right for the second out of the inning, and Aaron Hash has bounced back. He's looking to retire Ty Hatfield to get out of the inning here in the bottom of the 4th. The Chillicothe Paints have scored 16 runs on 13 hits. The Rhythm have 3 hits and have committed 2 errors in the field. It has not been their day. The pitch swung on and missed. And right now the Rhythm don't have much of a rhythm today. Hash reaches back, comes home with the pitch, and it's hit on the knob to the right fielder, and Watkins gloves it for the 3rd out of the inning. So after 2 runners get on, they are stranded for no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We'll be back for the top of the 5th inning. Don't go anywhere.
Score home run deals from your hometown dealer. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We've got Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every new vehicle comes with Rhythm's exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles at no additional charge. We've got great deals on deck, so step up to the plate. Find your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram at rhythmcdjr.com. Feel the rhythm, love the ride.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm Max Keller alongside Tim Reese. We welcome you back into the broadcast booth here at VA Memorial Park in Chillicothe, Ohio, where the Chillicothe Paints have a 16-0 lead against the Full Count Rhythm. The Rhythm will send Parker McDonald, wearing number 23, tonight. He comes up to the plate and has a single. He's in the field as a shortstop tonight. He'll face Garrett Helsel, who is through 4 innings strong, has allowed 3 hits, no runs, and has stranded 5 base runners. He's got 4 strikeouts on the day. We'll get set to go. It was a hectic start to the game. The Chillicothe Paints batted around and then some in the first 2 innings consecutively. Things have slowed down since then, and we see the first pitch here from Helsel. Inside for a ball up and high near the body of McDonald, who steps back into that batter's box as a righty facing the lefty. The 1-0. In on the corner for a strike. It's a 1-1 count. That one just clipped the left edge. The mountain lefty on the hill throws home, and that one's high for ball 2.
McDonald's from Tallahassee, Florida.
McDonald fouls one back. It's a AAA auto glass foul ball to make it a 2-2 count. Got the opportunity to go to Tallahassee this year for the first time when Miami took on Florida State in baseball. Here's the 2-2. Just misses high and outside for a ball. And here we have a Full Count Ministries full count.
Attaboy, Max. Attaboy.
I may commit 1 error, but I'm going to come back even stronger. The payoff pitch is high and outside. And that's a walk for Parker McDonald, who's been on base 2 times tonight. And that'll bring up the top of the order.
It's about time for Joe Watkins getting him a base hit right here. He's 0 for 2.
That's the 3rd walk of the day from Garrett Helsel. Watkins, another righty, set to face the lefty. The first pitch to him is high and inside for a ball.
McDonald down at first base. They're not holding him on, so he's taking liberties there, but Colton back will hover right around the bag.
Here's the 1-0. Watkins gets in on the hands and fouls it off to the right side, makes the count 2-0. Another AAA auto glass foul ball. Watkins is from Dothan, Alabama. He played at UAB last year, only had 12 at-bats, but kept a .333 average. Transferred from Lawson State to UAB.
Son of Joey and Stacy Watkins.
He gets the 1-1, fouls it right back towards our faces here in the broadcast booth, and a great play made by a man who had his head hit earlier in Landon Vance. And this guy's doing everything, putting on a show without getting in the game.
The right-hander, Metamora, Ohio, Lake Erie College, has not pitched in this ball game.
McDonald gets his lead. Here's the 1-2, and it's swung on and missed. How about a 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball that got straight through the bat of Joe Watkins? That's the 5th strikeout of the day for Garrett Helsel, who struck out 9 in 5 innings last time out on the mound. Looking for a ground ball here to get out of the inning. The first pitch misses off the right edge for a ball to Andrew Hunt. Hunt also goes to UAB. He's from Birmingham. Transferred from Wallace State Community College. Swings on one that was low in the zone for a strike, making the count 1-1. And he did not play this past season. He's dealing with a runner on first. The Rhythm trail by 16. Another swing and a miss, and Garrett Helsel really demonstrating what kind of stuff he has on the mound. Gets ahead 1-2. And anytime you're 6'5" and a lefty, you're going to draw a lot of eyes when you stand on the bump. Here he kicks and fires. 76-mile-an-hour changeup misses low. Count moves to 2-2.
That start that Helsel had was against the Johnstown Mill Rats back on May 30th, the first real game of the year for the Paints.
McDonald takes off. The pitch inside. There will be no contest, and Parker McDonald swipes a bag.
Now the question is, will the official score rule that a defensive indifference, or will they award McDonald the stolen base?
Well, while we figure that out, we have a Full Count Ministries full count to Andrew Hunt. The payoff pitch is hit sharply into right field. Parker McDonald was slow to get to third. The run will not score. Runners on the corners here. That's a CrossFit Hendersonville 1st and 3rd situation for the Rhythm. With only 1 out in the inning, now you got some options if you're Aiden Gibson as to how you're going to try to score this run.
And it was, in fact, credited to Parker McDonald as a century steal. Steal of second base. Century steal. Customer service by the ton. My good buddy Keith Hopper over there and his son Chris. Appreciate their support of Full Count Rhythm.
Helsel's first pitch gets hit into left field, and that's going to be the first run of the game for the Rhythm. It's a shutout no longer, and that's an RBI single for Aiden Gibson.
Framework Athletics, first run of the game, scored by Parker McDonald, who walked, stole second, moved to third on a base hit by Andrew Hunt, and driven in by Aiden Gibson. And that will, looks like, end the night for Garrett Helsel.
Well, if he does come off the mound, which he is going to head off the mound, it was a great start. He's going to be responsible for 2 runners, but he did strike out 5 batters, walk 3, and I'll come with you with his final line when we come back here on the Full Count Rhythm Broadcast Network. Don't go anywhere.
You might get an app, but your money doesn't. Like right now. At Volunteer State Bank, it's working hard day and night, earning 4.5% APY. Playtime, drive time, anytime. You could be out with friends or on vacation, but your money, it doesn't take a break. You've worked hard for it. Now let it work hard for you. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account today and earn 4.5 annual percentage yield if qualifications are met on balances up to $15,000.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
Safeware call to the bullpen for Chillicothe Paints. Number 9, Bryson Brown, a right-hander out of West Virginia State University.
And now the rain is coming down, and it is coming down hard. We got some pouring rain right now as Bryson Brown takes the mound, a 6'3", 200-pound right-hander that Tim was just telling us about.
Wow, would that be good timing? Rain this puppy out, and we got to start all over. How about that?
Is that how that works?
Don't get. They got to get through this inning for it to be a complete game. Otherwise, I don't know if they'd restart the game. Like if we had to wait till tomorrow, restart it, then start back tomorrow. I'm not sure how that would be done. I don't know how the Prospect League does that, but let me finish my Safeware call to the bullpen. He's from Wellston, Ohio, just southeast here of Chillicothe. 6'3", 200-pound rising junior. Bryson Brown on in relief of Garrett Helzel, and players are still out on the field.
It looks like it's lightened up.
Isn't it? Okay, Garrett Helzel. You can go ahead and give us the stats on Helzel.
Garrett Helzel finishes with 4 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He's responsible for the runners on first and second. The first pitch of the day from Bryson Brown is inside, near the body of Joey Parliament, who steps into the box, an infielder who stands 5'8", 185 pounds from Trevecca. He's got runners on first and second. In this rainy ball game, runner takes off. This ball's hit deep into the air. Will it find the gap? And it does get down. So now, after some crazy base running, the Rhythm will have to decide they're going to have to send the runner home. 1 run will score after all of that. And basically, what happened was that Andrew Hunt was off trying to steal a base, then decided that he wanted to go back to the bag for fear that it might be a fly out. When it landed in the gap, he had to catch his balance and then get home. But by the time he was at third, he didn't have a choice because Aiden Gibson was right behind him. So after all of that, the Rhythm has scored their second run of the game.
And that's back-to-back-to-back hits by the Rhythm, brought to you by Old Hickory Bats. They're using the steel press bats for the second year.
A huge hit from Joey Parliament, which leads to Caden Wilkes standing in the box with runners on second and third. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Parliament with a dudette double drove in Andrew Hunt for the second run of the ball game.
The 0-1 just foul tipped off into the lap of the catcher. Makes it an 0-2 count.
That run charged to Helzel. So that's now 2 runs given up. He's responsible for the runner at third.
And a foul ball that catches Ty Hatfield in the hand. He'll have to shake it off. Those can never feel good, and you know what it's like to jam a finger or two.
Wilkes, who is the rhythm catcher, he knows exactly what it's like as he talks to Hatfield there at the home plate area.
So the Rhythm have now gotten Garrett Helsel out of the game. They face Bryson Brown with runners on second and third. Brown's pitch is in the dirt to make it a 1-2 count. The Rhythm are now up to 6 total hits on the game. They've committed 2 errors in the field, and they trail by 14 runs. Looks like the rain has stopped. We got a quick shower in Chillicothe, and that one's fouled back for a AAA auto glass foul ball.
Wilkes must be taking the 34-inch, 31-ounce bat up to the plate because he is barely getting the cupped end of that old hickory bat on the baseball.
He's doing a good job to stay alive at the plate with 2 runners in scoring position. He waves the bat near his helmet and receives the 1-2. It's inside for a ball just off the inside corner, and the Chillicothe Paint fans disagree with home plate umpire Jimmy Craig.
It looked like he was starting to ring up Caden Wilkes, so give about a half of an umpire balk to Jimmy Craig behind the plate.
That's Tim Reese's favorite stat. The 2-2, similar location but a little bit more inside, and that will give us a Full Count Ministries full count with 1 out.
Still waiting on an email for the Full Count Ministries verse of the game. I'll come up with one if we don't get one.
Here's the payoff pitch. Woo. Just goes over the head of Caden Wilkes, who will take the free first base, and that'll have the bases juiced for the DH Lawson T. And don't look now, but the Rhythm have a chance to put up a number here in the top of the 5th inning.
I haven't seen Lawson get a hold of one yet, but he's a pretty good-sized fella. Swings and misses at the breaking pitch there, just a little bit out ahead of that one. It's number 5, Lawson T, 6'4", 220 from Gallatin, Tennessee.
Big frame, standing in the right side of the batter's box, and that one is yanked low and away from Brown. Counts at 1-1. Runners get their leads. Brown kicks and deals a ball that goes in the turf, but Ty Hatfield half-heartedly keeps it in front of him.
Yeah, the energy's pretty much sapped out of Ty Hatfield, I think. Maybe it's from his time at the plate as a hitter. 4 at-bats in 4 innings, 3 hits.
Here's the 2-1. And Lawson T had to raise his arms to avoid getting hit by that 82-mile-an-hour pitch on the inside. Count moves to 3-1. Rhythm trail by 14 runs. Looking to plate 2 here with a hit. Could be more. Straight off the bat and caught. A chance for 2, and they ring him up. How about a web gem from Alex Bemis, who has 2 on the night. Throws over to George Gomez because Joey Parliament was caught running with the ball in the air. And that'll retire the side on a double play, an unconventional double play, Dudat Communications double play. So after all of that, the Rhythm are able to get on the board and run Garrett Helsel out of the game. They score 2 runs in the inning. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th. We're going to keep it right here. I forgot because we got an exciting new part of the broadcast. We're going to take a look at some of the scores going on around the rest of the Prospect League.
The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by whatever the name of your business is. You would like to become a Full Count Rhythm sponsor, send an email in to me at treesports@gmail.com. I'll get you hooked up with the folks that need to know that, but our out-of-town scoreboard is looking like this. Du Bois County Bombers are not on that out-of-town scoreboard just yet. Not, it will go to, why are we way off on where, we're a week behind.
Yeah, I hate how it's.
What happened here with this?
When you load the scoreboard, it brings you to
Here we go. Let's go
to
to
the
today.
first day of games.
Here we go. I thought I had it up, but Wednesday, June the 5th it is, and Du Bois County is leading 6-5 over the Johnstown Mill Rats as they play in Huntingburg, Indiana. The Champion City Kings Danville game has been postponed. In the top of the 9th, the Lafayette Aviators and Rex Baseball tied up 4-4, as are the Clinton Lumber Kings at the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes 4-4. 2-2 is the score of the Cape Catfish at Alton River Dragons. Jackson Rockabillys and Thrillville apparently not playing at the moment, although they were supposed to start at 7 o'clock Central. The Burlington Bees a 1-0 lead over the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp in the top of the 6th. That is your Prospect League out-of-town scoreboard.
So Tyler Mendez will come up to the plate to face Aaron Hash, who starts his 3rd inning of work. He's been the most effective pitcher from the Rhythm. He generates a AAA auto glass foul ball to the left side to get ahead in the count 0-1. Tyler Mendez comes up to the plate. He was hit by a pitch in his first 2 at-bats and then struck out. Not a fun day at the plate. The 0-1 just misses high for a ball.
Not unless you like on-base average.
That's true. Didn't consider that. Guess that's why my stats were never very good.
I got hit 9 times my first year of college baseball in about 38 games. Not a ton.
1-1 is smacked out into center field, and a diving play is made by Andrew Hunt. Give him the web gem. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Get that on SportsCenter later. Great play.
Put a star by that one. Andrew Hunt out in center field. Almost looked like a reluctant dive. He wasn't sure he was going to, it didn't look like. So just at the last second, he ended up laying out, getting that ball in the glove.
And that'll bring up Alex Bemis, who swings through the first pitch at 77 miles an hour for a strike.
He's played well, hasn't he?
He scored 2 runs, 2 hits on the day.
Driven in 4 and made some really nice plays at shortstop.
He's been phenomenal in the field. He looks at the 0-1 in the turf for a ball. So far today for the Rhythm, Aaron Hash has been awesome out of the bullpen. He came in to start the 3rd inning and hasn't looked back so far. He kicks and deals the 1-1, a curveball that never quite snapped. Count moves to 2-1.
This is his 3rd appearance of the year. He's got an 0-1 record, 3 1/3 innings, given up 8 hits, 8 runs, only 4 earned. Walked 4, struck out 6.
Bemis sends one out to the same exact spot in center field, but this time it hung up in the air a little bit longer, and Andrew Hunt, while he had to cover the ground, he didn't have to lay out for the 2nd out of the inning. And we move to the top of the order with Alex Moneill back up to bat.
We got a pinch hitter for Alex Moneill. Number 7 is Clay Burdett, who was in yesterday's lineup. He was the first baseman for the Paints. He's going to hit for Moneill.
He was a freshman from the Ohio State University.
OH.
Stands 6'2", 220 pounds, from the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio.
He went to Moeller High School. Max, do you know anybody famous that went to Moeller High School?
I'm going to go out on a limb as the first pitch is in there for a strike. Does his name rhyme with Bim Meese?
No, it doesn't.
Come on now. I should have known you moved to the South well before that.
He's a baseball Hall of Famer. That one popped out the right field.
Hit into the right field area, and it's going to get into foul territory. It doesn't matter, as the 3rd out is squeezed by Joe Watkins. And why don't you give us the answer to
Let's
that
go
trivia
with
question?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, he
Ken
was
Griffey
good at
Jr.,
baseball for a little
as
bit.
well as Barry Larkin, shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds. So Archbishop Moeller High School in Cincinnati, Ohio, very famous high school.
So a 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Hash keeps the Paints off the board as we will now move to the top of the 6th inning where the Full Count Rhythm trail by 14 runs. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more baseball.
United Machine and Tool has been manufacturing the highest quality projects for a wide variety of industries for over 35 years. We deliver high-quality CNC machine components and fabrication projects from prototype to production. United Machine and Tool is committed to quality and excellence in the manufacturing industry. We're located in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Check us out on the web at umttn.com for any manufacturing need. That's United Machine and Tool, a proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Hey, I've been thinking, bank fees can seem pretty cruel. Well, they did until I went to Volunteer State Bank. I found a bank with a local personalized service and free checking. Yeah, may I present to you Kasasa. Now, it's kind of like my checking account is paying me instead of the other way around. Visit one of our 11 locations or anywhere you have a phone. Real people, real solutions right here. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
We welcome you back in here to the broadcast booth. I'm Max Keller alongside Tim Reese. The Full Count Rhythm trails 16-2 here to start the 6th inning. And there's been a couple of changes in the field for the Chillicothe Paints. Clay Burdett enters the game in left field as he came in to pinch hit for the leadoff hitter Alex Monil. And I believe Samuel Fabian checked into the game in right, if I have that right.
That's what I have.
And I believe we still have Bryson Brown on the mound for the Paint, who came in to relieve their starter, Garrett Helsel. He'll face Jacob Rowald. The first pitch to Rowald is high for a ball. The final line on Garrett Helsel was 4 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 runs, both of them earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The 1-0. Bounced up to short. The throw on is nothing but out. That's a sure play for Alex Bemis, who has been phenomenal in the field today. Retires the first hitter.
Rowald fell down as he was coming out of the batter's box, so Bemis had a good bit of time to make that throw over to first base.
You give Bemis that much time, he might yawn on his way over, thrown to first. Jackson Cochran comes up to bat, the righty facing the righty on the mound. Looks at a first pitch inside for a ball, 82 miles an hour. Brett Von Dolen up to bat for Jackson Cothran. That was a pinch hit that happened, or a substitution in the field. This is the first at bat for Von Dolen, who hits a AAA auto glass foul ball right over our heads.
Gonna need to call the roof store, get Barrios on the line. Get him on the hooter. The guy I used to work with used to call the telephone, get him on the hooter.
The 1-1 is...
Get out of here.
I mean, that ball was crushed.
It's almost like Von Dolen didn't like that one.
But it won't count for anything. It's a foul ball.
Well, that's probably the closest to breaking a window right there for the AAA auto glass. They don't have the sounders here. There's no Mark McDaniel here.
A swing and a miss on a drop third strike. The throw over to first will complete the strikeout. 2 down here in the inning. That's the first strikeout of the day for Bryson Brown, who now will face Parker McDonald to wrap up the bottom of this Full Count Rhythm roster, or lineup, I should say. The Rhythm today have 2 runs on 6 hits. They trail by 14. The first pitch to McDonald is touching the bottom of the zone for a strike.
He's the son of Keith and Dora McDonald, has a brother, Will, Grandpa and a GB in Tallahassee and a DD in Everett, also in Tallahassee.
The 0-1 was a breaking ball that slipped out of the hand, bounced in the lefty batter's box for a ball. We had a little bit of rain, but that came and went. Looks like hopefully we can get through the rest of this game if needed. The 1-1 check swing does not go around, and that one was in the dirt for a ball. 2-1.
He's reached both times. He's been to the plate, singled in the second, walked and scored in the fifth.
He might be in line with Aaron Hash for the Frosted Luau player of the game. This one is drilled into left field, gets over the glove. It's going to be extra bases for Parker McDonald. He'll stop at second with a 2-out double. And how about a day? On a day
he forgets his uniform. He forgot his uniform, and
hey, maybe he just needs to wear number 23.
He's going to take it from Jacob Newman. So he gets into second base with a do-dat double. Do-dat Communications. They've printed this here program, as a matter of fact. So I want to thank Craig Sinnard over at Do-dat Communications. They're just inside the back cover.
And now Ramey Harrison will pinch hit for Joe Watkins. Harrison looks at a ball high and outside for a ball. So Harrison will likely go into right field for Joe Watkins as well, listed as an outfielder. He's been playing some third base. Runner stands on second. The 1-0 is swung on and missed, but the runner will advance on a pass ball. So McDonald stands 90 feet away from scoring, with Ramey Harrison at the plate for his first plate appearance of the day.
Harrison from the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Staying in the host home of Eric and Tina Stewart. Brandon Kleiser is his mentor.
The 1-1 just misses high for a ball. Got a dark sky here in Chillicothe. Local time is 9:18 p.m. We are in the top of the sixth inning. Bryson Brown on the mound. The righty kicks and deals. Misses up top again. Count moves to 3-1. And this scorebook I have is going to be one of the more fun ones with all the things I've crossed out and substitutions. And
let me just tell you, Max, you need corrected tape. Okay, if you're going to write and pen, you need a little white out.
The 3-1 is fouled back at AAA Auto Glass foul ball. Brings us to a Full Count Ministries full count with a runner on third. 2 outs in the inning. The Rhythm trying to mount a comeback. A deep breath on the mound from Brown. He delivers the payoff pitch. It's drilled into right field.
Stay fair. Stay fair.
Foul. It actually bounced off the wall just about 5 to 10 feet right of the foul pole.
Yet again, Max, I'm looking down at the home plate umpire, and I don't mean to jump on anybody's back, but he does not leave his station to go at home plate to look down that line to see if that's going to end up being fair or foul. That's the first thing you do, is go stand on the plate.
Harrison looks at one, and that'll be a walk. Especially when you're dealing with 2 umpires, it's important to be communicative and decisive.
And our base umpire, Mr. Kyle Oldigus, there's no chance he's going to see if that's fair or foul. So
that's the second walk of the game for Bryson Brown. Runners on the corners. This is a CrossFit Hendersonville first and third situation.
Ryan McDuffie and Lindsay McDuffie, co-owners. They happen to be husband and wife.
Andrew Hunt looks at a pitch down the middle for a strike. He kind of started to lean forward and then didn't like it.
Got a pinch hitter here. This is Jacob Tobias.
Oh, I should have known with the head of hair, man. That's pretty unmistakable. Tobias looks at one in the dirt. Count goes even to 1-1.
He also hits left-handed, and Andrew Hunt hits right-handed. That
things you get to know.
Yeah,
the
you get
more
to learn
you spend with the
in
time
game
you spend
8.
with the team.
You're halfway there now to me. You're game 4.
Living on a prayer, and
you're halfway there. Yeah,
the
very
pitch,
good.
The pitch catches the corner, makes the count 1-2 with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. The Rhythm trying to avoid stranding a runner in scoring position. They trail by 14. It's Jacob Tobias at the plate.
Tobias from Lipscomb University.
He looks at one just off the corner, down low for a ball. Count goes to 2-2. We got 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
Grandpa and Grandma down in Birmingham, Alabama. Grammy's listening in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
He swings on this pitch, slices it to the left field line, a running play, and it gets down. They're going to wave the runner home, and it will be a 2-run, 2-out double for Jacob Tobias. That gets over the head of Clay Burdett in left field, who might have had a play to be made, but it bounces over his head, and I certainly don't mean to say that it was anything close to an error, but he was just a few inches away from catching that ball. Instead, the Rhythm have 4 runs, and they trail by 12.
Going to count up the number of hits that we have here right now. 6, 8, as they did give that a do-dat double to Jacob Tobias as he drives in 2 runs to add 2 more to the Rhythm total.
We have a mound visit right now. Probably not a pitching change if I had to guess.
There's activity down in the bullpen, though. It may be.
Unless they're just buying time, which is a good strategy for Darren Lewis. But it will be Bryson Brown remaining on the mound, who came in to the game in the 5th inning, relieving Garrett Helsel, the starter for the Paint tonight. If you're just tuning in, the Chillicothe Paints have scored 16 runs on 13 hits. They chased the Rhythm through their first 3 pitchers, but Aaron Hash has been providing some stability on the mound.
He is right now looking like the Frosted Luau player of the game, isn't he?
For sure. Brown kicks and fires home. First pitch strike to Aiden Gibson, although I'll hold my breath before I make sure. Everybody's been getting subbed out of the game. Two outs, runner on second. And it is Aiden Gibson.
You didn't need those Bushnells to tell that, did you, those young eyes of yours?
Man, I'm going to like
Keller.
it while I have it. Both of my parents wear glasses.
You don't, no contacts?
No contacts.
No contacts. We need a optometrist as a
The 0-2 is slapped into the gap, and that'll get down for a RBI single. And he's going to try to potentially turn it into 2. I tell you what,
he started to go.
He rounded that base pretty hard. It was a slow ball that took a while to bounce to Eric Colosso in center. Gave enough time for the run to score. It'll just be a single, but how about the Rhythm starting to find some rhythm here?
Back-to-back hits brought to you by Old Hickory Bats. They're made up there in Millersville, Tennessee. Chad Lamberth and crew making the steel press bats that are driving the ball in the outfield and driving in runs.
Joey Parliament comes up. He was the first batter that Bryson Brown faced. Brown delivers a first pitch ball high and inside, and Parliament greeted him with a double. Parliament skies one really high in the air. That's going to get out of play. AAA auto glass foul ball. Lands on the roof. Still 2 outs in the inning. A runner on first, and the Rhythm have scored 3 in the inning.
Mike Kelly of the dynamic duo Mike and Andrea Kelly, host home family. He chimes in, says, let's go Jacob. Although on my sheet it doesn't show that he has Jacob Tobias in his house.
The 1-1 is slapped into the dirt. Charging is the third baseman. Throws onto first, and a low grab by Trevor Coltonback will save Felix Polanco from an error, and that'll end the inning. The Rhythm are able to score 3 runs here in the 6th inning off of 3 hits. They leave 1 runner on, no errors in the inning, and 3 runs scored, all of them earned. So we'll be right back for the bottom of the 6th. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Full Count Rhythm radio or broadcast network.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram knocks it out of the park with Nashville's best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, all new vehicles come with a Rhythm exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, no additional charge. That's a home run. Find your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in Madison, just 10 minutes north of Nashville.
If you've got a dream, then we've got you covered. Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is like no other.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
We're back for the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm Max Keller alongside Tim Reese. We're here in Chillicothe, Ohio, where the Chillicothe Paints have a 16-5 lead. It's 5 unanswered runs so far for the Rhythm after going behind 16-0. Those 16 runs came all in the first 2 innings for the Paints. And on the mound remains Aaron Hash, who has been phenomenal since coming into the game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Since that bottom of the 3rd inning, there have been no hits. He's stranded 2 runners. This one is hit deep to left field, and it is off the wall, fielded in left and thrown in by Jacob Rowald. And that'll be a stand-up double to start the inning. I eat my words immediately.
That's the first hit off of Aaron Hash. Jacob Tobias, now the center fielder for the Rhythm, and Ramey Harrison is out in right field.
George Gomez will come up to bat with a runner on second. The second baseman is up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th. I was going to give you his line, and then I wasn't confident enough to do it. The first pitch was in there for a strike, 0-1. He has 1 strikeout, reached on an error. He is 0-4 today.
0-4.
On a day where his team has 14 hits. The 0-1 hit out to shortstop. Throw over to first, and it's just low. It'll bounce in the turf, and honestly, Gomez might have beaten the throw anyways, but Parker McDonald made a good effort. And the runner will advance to third. Runners on the corners. It's a 1st and 3rd situation. CrossFit Hendersonville.
That is an infield single. George Gomez finally gets his first safety of the ball game. He's 1 for 5.
So 2 hits in this inning. The first 2 hits of the game since the 2nd inning for the Paints. This one's hit in on the hands and straight to Jacob Tobias, positioned in center. That'll be a sacrifice fly for the 17th run of the game from the Chillicothe Paints. And that'll bring up Cole Riley, the DH. Today, Riley has walked twice. 3 walks. He's 0 for 1. Funny how that reads in baseball.
He's been walked by 3 different pitchers.
The first pitch from Aaron Hash is low for a ball. So the Rhythm had scored 5 unanswered runs. The Paints are finally back on the board after a sacrifice fly from Felix Polanco scores Eric Colasso. The 1-0 with 1 out is hit sharply and gets under the glove of Aiden Gibson at third, and that'll get to the glove of Jacob Rowald. Throws back into the cutoff man. Runners on first and second.
Gibson went to try to backhand that one, and I think it hit what is possibly a seam between the green artificial turf and the brown artificial turf, and they're going to rule that an error.
So they're going to take away the hit from Cole Riley, and it's going to be an E5. A foul ball on the first pitch. It's a AAA Auto Glass foul ball.
There's Darian Lewis's first Olay there of the 2-game series. Tried to make that play and pulled his hand back probably right before he was fixing to get knocked into fingers there with that ground ball foul.
So Trevor Colton back at the plate, waves the bat over his shoulders. The runner takes off. The throw down is in time, but the glove is not applied on the tag soon enough, and it's a stolen base.
17-5, and we're stealing third base.
For George Gomez, runners on the corners. CrossFit Hendersonville first and third. 1 out, 1-1 count. Hash kicks and deals a ball that was hit just over the head of the third baseman, or excuse me, the runner on third. And it's a foul ball. 1-2.
Colton back with 3 hits in 4 plate appearances. Scored twice and driven in 2 as Rowald had to dig that one out of the corner and throw it back in to nobody in the bullpen.
And technically, I think
still sitting on the field.
We're supposed to not be playing right now. 17-5 ball game. Runners on the corners, 1 out. The 1-2 from Hash. Hit sharply in the air to Jacob Tobias. The runner tags. They'll send him home. Throw to the cutoff man, and there's going to be no contest. The Paints have scored 18 runs, and we are right here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
10-run rule is after 7 innings or 6.5 if the home team's leading. So the Rhythm will now have to score 4 runs in the top of the 6th to keep this game going.
Ty Hatfield comes up to the plate with 3 hits. He's 3 for 4. A swing and a miss to start the new at-bat. Makes the count 0-1.
That run will be unearned as...
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, because...
So no sacrifice.
Well, if they count the error at third base...
Then the runner wouldn't have been at third for the sacrifice.
Or that out right there, right. The fly out would have been the third out.
Would have been the third out of the inning.
And the run wouldn't have scored. So.
I mean, you learn something new every day with Tim Rees. He said I was going to learn 4 things a week. The first pitch is yanked outside for a ball from Aaron Hash to make the count 1-2. The Paints have just had their way today. In the first 2 innings, they scored 16 runs. They have 15 hits as a team. A 1-2 gets up in the headspace of Ty Hatfield. He doesn't get hit by the pitch, but the wild pitch results in a runner standing on second. Twos across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner standing on second.
That was ruled a wild pitch by the official score.
Hatfield hits one off the knob of the bat to right field. Is this going to get down? It does. That was better than the knob of the bat. 1 run will score, and Hatfield will hold up at second with an RBI double.
Another unearned run, but a run nonetheless. 19-5.
And now up to bat is Samuel Fabian, who came into the game for Tyler Mendez. Fabian trying to keep the inning going. A little 2-out rally from Ty Hatfield to score a run. He drills one to deep left field, a no-doubter. And that is a 2-run home run that we never saw come down. I didn't see it go in the trees. That one might have gotten all the way to the correction facility. And that is a 20 spot. For Samuel Fabian, who is now 1 for 1 with a 2-run shot.
That should be 21. The scoreboard only go to 20. It's 5 in the inning. They had 16 to begin the inning. That is the second home run of the year for Chillicothe. There, the scoreboard shows 21.
Now it's a bat. I believe it's still Alex Bemis.
It is.
Bemis looks at the first pitch from Aaron Hash, who's really good outing has come to a screeching halt here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Rhythm, well, they're down by a lot. The first swing of the at-bat makes it 0-2.
Well, now the Rhythm have to score 2 in the top of the 7th to make this what actually would look like a football score. That was Fabian's second home run, and he has both of them for the team.
Another one hit off the bat to right field, and that is gloved by Ramey Harrison to end the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a line out, but in the inning, the Paint are able to plate 5 runs. I believe 3 of them earned.
Only one.
Only one of them earned.
That inning should have ended before the double and the home run.
Oh, I see. I'm learning all these rules. I'm just going to let Tim
That's
do it.
okay. You're okay. That's how you learn.
But the hits on the inning, 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on the inning, and nobody left on base. And we'll go to the top of the 7th inning where the Rhythm need to come up with
a bunch
of runs.
They got to have 7.
They got to have
a touchdown
7
here.
runs. We'll be right back after the short break.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
We have a Safeware call to the bullpen. It's Mikey Olivieri onto the mound for the Chillicothe Paints. They lead 21-5. I'm Max Keller alongside Tim Reese. I guess it's just Olivieri. Olivieri stands 5'10", 180 pounds. He's a right-handed pitcher who spent his sophomore season at Ohio Wesleyan University.
2 appearances on the year, 3 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs that were earned. He's not walked a batter, struck out 4, 8+ ERA. It sure is spelled like it's Olivieri, but we'll go with Tim, the Toolman public address announcer, retired police officer from right here in Chillicothe Police Department in Chillicothe, Ohio, former military man and all-around nice guy. They've treated us well here.
So pinch hitting into the game.
There we go.
Is Drew Charney, the catcher from last night's contest in his first game for the Rhythm last night. He steps in the box as a righty, takes a strike on the corner. First pitch from Mikey Olivieri. makes it 0-1. The tall, lean righty with a big leg kick just misses off the right edge for a ball. Count moves to 1-1.
Charney staying in the host home of Doug and Rebecca Dorn.
Charney looks at one down the middle for a strike 2 at 84 miles an hour.
From Butler University, hometown Minnetonka, Minnesota, or Hopkins, Minnesota.
That pitch is high, makes the count even at 2-2.
He's the son of Alan and Allison Charney. Hello to Papa and Gaga in Minnetonka.
The 2-2 dribbled off his foot and foul. That's a AAA auto glass foul ball. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. The Rhythm need to come up with 7 runs to avoid the mercy rule.
Charney 0 for 1 in yesterday's game, but reached on a couple walks and a hit by pitch.
A great eye there to look at one off the top right of the zone. Count goes to a full count. Ministries full count.
No emails tonight. It's all right. I got a few in my hip pocket.
Oliveri.
He just can't pitch to
pitch, and that's a walk.
They can't pitch to him. They're afraid of him, Max.
So well done there. As another pinch hitter comes into the game.
Oh my goodness. 4-year full count Rhythm player, or 3-year player, one-time coach. Harrison Travis of the Amy and William Travis family.
First pitch to him is in there for a strike.
His first at-bat of the year. Shout out to Aunt Lori.
The 0-1 misses high and outside for a ball.
They probably didn't even know he was going to get into the game tonight. 6'4", 215-pound, 18-year college player, Carson Newman. He's a graduate already from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. He's working on his MBA.
Travis waves the bat above his head and looks at a pitch that was inside for a ball 2. That 75-mile-an-hour breaking ball just didn't break early enough.
Papa Mama, also known as the Quattrochis, watching in Hickson, Tennessee, and Grana in Red Bank.
He turns on one for a foul ball, AAA auto glass foul ball, right towards the bleachers on the left side of the field.
His host home family, Jimmy and Linda Edwards, and his mentor, one of the big Rhythm supporters, Kevin Pomeroy.
He
Get on
drills one into left field. This one's going to get all the way to the wall.
He's going to hobble to second.
And this is runners on second and third with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning.
Look at Harrison Travis with a do-dat double. Harrison Travis recently with a couple surgeries to his knees. Looked like Swiss cheese in there to Harrison Travis. He's had a few operations, and he gets his first hit of the year and his first at-bat, as we'll have another pinch hitter.
It's Wyatt Fuchs into the game. Only 3 players remain unsubstituted for the full count Rhythm in the lineup for tonight. Fuchs comes into the game for Jacob Rowald. And Fuchs swings at one, fouls it off. It's a AAA auto glass foul ball. Count moves to 0-1. He's got 2 runners in scoring position, a great opportunity for a couple ribbies. He looks at one that's high for a ball. Count moves to 1-1. So the Rhythm have had some success early on here from Mikey Oliveri on the mound.
Well, apparently the Soddy Daisy Hickson folks found out that Harrison Travis was getting into the ball game as that pitch misses outside. All of a sudden, the Twitter or X viewership has rocketed up to 125, where it was sitting around 60 or 70 earlier. So Travis clan has checked in for this broadcast.
The 2-1 is hit down the line in just a couple feet inside of the bag. Count moves to 2-2. Almost extra bases there from Wyatt Fuchs.
Charney had to do a little dance over there at third base to get out of the way. It's Jackson Jarvis, the third base coach, giving a little instruction to Drew Charney.
Charney came in yesterday, was the catcher in his first game wearing a full count rhythm uniform. Fuchs gets on one, sends it down the line in right field, and this one is going to be caught for a sacrifice fly in foul territory. Runners advance. So Wyatt Fuchs with a productive out. Plates a run. That was Harrison Travis moving up to third base.
Drew Charney came in to score the 6th run of the game, and Harrison Travis is the extra point down at third. Brett Von Dolan getting his second AB.
With one out, Brett Von Dolan fouls the first pitch he sees off for a AAA auto glass foul ball.
Von Dolan, the son of Chris and Robin Von Dolan. He's a business administration major at MTSU. Brother to Chase.
The 0-1 he sees is blown through the bat. Falls behind 0-2. Looking to plate a runner that's standing on third. Harrison Travis into the ballgame. The 0-2 yanked in the dirt. This is a pass ball. There's going to be no play at home. And Harrison Travis comes around to score on the wild pitch.
And there it is, 21-7 on the board. I said we go ahead and see if we can kick a long field goal. What do you say, Max?
I would root for it, although
Brett Von Dolan's not going to be able to do it.
It would be very satisfying to get a football score after all of this. It'd be like a small reward through the pain. The 1-2 fouled off. Some lucky fans will go home with a souvenir.
Number 17 young man was after it, but he came up a little bit short. It's not just a height joke. He just didn't get there in time.
The 1-2 hit sharply straight to the second baseman, who uses his body to keep it in front of him. Throws on to first for the out. George Gomez with a smooth-looking play. Well, I guess not smooth-looking play, but gets the job done.
He knocked it down.
And that will bring the Rhythm up to their final out of the game.
Jacob Newman. Not Jacob Newman.
Parker McDonald does a good Jacob Newman impression.
If Jacob Newman got in the batter's box, right? I wonder if Jacob Newman been on a full count mission trip to Nicaragua.
The first pitch McDonald sees is low and away. What a day it's been for McDonald at the plate. He scored 2 runs, has a single, walk, and a double. That one's in there for a strike. Count moves to 1-1 off of the hand of Mike Oliveri, the righty. Stands on the mound facing Parker McDonald. The 1-1. Clips the corner. Really well located pitch that caught the black for a second strike in this at bat. Down to their last strike. The Rhythm have to find something. And it's a swing and a miss. A strikeout will end this ball game. The Chillicothe Paints will take this one 21-7. It's a football score here in Chillicothe, Ohio. That'll be the final score. The Paints scored 16 runs in the first 2 innings, and after that, we played a second ball game that didn't mean much for this score. But there were some impressive performances, including Parker McDonald's day at the plate, even though he ends on a strikeout. And I would say that Aaron Hash had a great outing, except for that last part of his day.
He had a great 3 innings worth. That 4th inning where he gave up 5 runs, but only 1 was earned. 4 hits and no strikeouts in that last inning, but ended up with 2 in the ball game. Those were the first 2 batters that he faced. But this did not start well for the Rhythm as Chillicothe scored all they needed in the first inning, 9-run first and a 7-run second to clip the Rhythm 21-7. As this game ends early, the Rhythm will fall to 3-5, and it's their first 2-game losing streak. And the Paints move to 4-2 on the season. And Amy Travis, I will answer your question. Harrison did, in fact, get in the ball game, and he doubled down the left field line and ended up scoring a run on a wild pitch. So, Amy, I won't say you're a bad parent, but I didn't think he was going to get into the game myself. So that was a bit of a surprise when he stepped up to the plate as this game was out of hand. But we do want to remind you after this game that we have another game tomorrow here in Chillicothe. Then we'll be back home. Friday night's a big night in Hendersonville, Drakes Creek Park, as it is Missions Night. It'll be the night, first home game back. We'll be back for 6 games in 7 days. As Kids Camp is next week, Monday through Thursday. That's 9 a.m. till noon. Monday through Thursday, kids 5 to 12. I think you can still sign up at fullcountrhythm.com. But Friday night against DuBois County will be Missions Night. We will auction off the uniforms that the players will be wearing. They'll be wearing the special Missions jerseys. So you want to be there or at least be on Facebook, even though we'll be broadcasting on PLTV. We will have a Facebook Live feed so that you'll know all of the bids that are going on in the individual jerseys. So let everybody know that you know that they'll be auctioning Missions Night, and all that money will go towards sending players on mission. The first mission team will actually leave on Saturday. I will work tomorrow on finding out who that first group is that'll be leaving. There might even be some players that will be heading out, as Coach Carmen, the general manager and head coach of the Rhythm, has told each of these players that they are welcome to leave the team for a week if they want to go on mission. And so I'm sure that there will be some that will be heading out. Just need to space them out so we don't have everybody leaving at the same time and leave the Rhythm bereft of players. How do you like that, bereft? My daughter.
That's good vocabulary.
Is that a good
right
one?
there.
Is that
you pulled out a good word?
I mean, it's
That's a strong one.
correctly used.
I wouldn't know.
Folks, I'm telling you, it's 4 games in. I love this kid, man. I'm telling you, he's hilarious. He does a fantastic job. I hope you all are enjoying him as much as I am. He's been a great addition to our broadcast team. No, he's not the new Zach Williams. Zach, we will be back Friday. We've got one more game. Zach had checked in and said, got a football game going on at the ball yard. He's a former football broadcaster as well. He does it all. He's full service. And but we got to figure out a Frosted Luau player of the game.
I don't know.
Who are we going to go with here?
I think logically you got to go Parker McDonald.
Although Aiden Gibson was 3 for 4, and he
but
drove
you
in
could
2
also-
runs.
you could also-
Parker McDonald 2 for 3.
You could also consider the fact that, how electric was that extra base hit there that we got down the line
by Harrison Travis.
Harrison Travis. But I think you got to go with the complete game. Look, I think this is the first time where it's really up in the air.
Yeah. We got to flip a coin. Aiden Gibson or Parker McDonald? Gibson's got a couple RBIs and 3 hits. I think we're going to have to go there.
I think we're going with Aiden Gibson.
Aiden Gibson is your Frosted Luau player of the game from Carson Newman, as he is staying in the host home of Jimmy and Linda Edwards, right along with Harrison Travis as well. And Aiden Gibson, who plays third, short, and second. As I am looking at the pitcher's list, I will not find Aiden Gibson on the pitcher's list. Let's give a shout out to his family, Adam and Amy Gibson, his parents, Bryce and Alyssa, his siblings, Nana in Cleveland and Papaw in Cleveland, Tennessee as well. So Aiden Gibson is your Frosted Luau player of the game. And our Full Count Ministries verse of the game is found in the book of Revelation. That's the last book of the New Testament. It is found in chapter 4. It's the 411, I like to call that. And it is what will be chanted at the throne of God, and it says, "You are worthy, our Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they were created and have their being." That is the Full Count Ministry verse of the game, found in chapter 4, verse 11 of the book of Revelation. Next time, tomorrow night, I want to see some offerings on the treesports@gmail.com email address for your Full Count Ministries verse of the game. We didn't even get to our alumni spotlight. We didn't get far enough into the game. The La Quinta Inn and Suites. Let's get to that real quick. Ryan Miller, who's from right up the road here in Dublin, Ohio, was a 2022 Full Count Rhythm player. He now plays at The Ohio State University after a couple of years with the University of Tennessee. Played in 23 games this past year with OSU, OHIO. He hit .254 at 5 doubles, 5 home runs, and 23 RBIs. Ryan Miller, a left-handed hitter, catcher, first baseman for the Full Count Rhythm. And when he came to the plate, you were getting ready to see and hoping on a ball just absolutely smashed. I remember one home run he hit up at Paducah that hit over the scoreboard. And light tower power, he had several home runs for the University of Tennessee, even during their World Series trip
Give me the
to
name
Omaha.
one more time.
Ryan Miller.
I mean, that is so bad as a Tennessee fan that I didn't.
He was like the number 3 catcher behind.
But he had some home runs. You're saying during
Pavloni.
Pavloni.
He wasn't playing in in the SEC games for the
Right.
most part. He got in games that were got out of hand as a freshman from Dublin, Ohio. Dublin, Ohio is where the PGA stop is for the Memorial.
Got it.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm not sure if that may be this weekend. Anyway, Ryan Miller is our La Quinta Inn and Suites alumni spotlight. La Quinta located in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. If you're coming into town, maybe for this next weekend's series or the next weekend's games, get a hold of La Quinta Inn and Suites. They're in this fine book here somewhere. There they are, right there. They're located at 120 South Cartwright Court in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. La Quinta Inn and Suites. We thank them for their support of Full Count Rhythm Baseball. Well, not the ending or the beginning that the Rhythm wanted after sitting around all day long at the hotel. But we'll get another crack at them tomorrow night at 7:05 p.m. Max, any final thoughts before we head out?
Just super thankful again for all the people that tuned in. You guys mean the world to us. And
how about Mom and Dad? Give us another shout out to your family.
Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Mom, Dad, love you guys. Sonia, I don't know if you've tuned in yet to any of the games, but I'll get you on it. Great softball player, but I don't know if I got to get her to sit down and listen to one of these games, and then my aunts and uncles as well. So thank you to everybody that listened, and tomorrow night let's see some more exciting baseball. Let's see a new day and a new opportunity.
All right. Well, for Max Keller and head coach Josh Carman, this is Tim Reese saying so long, everybody. God bless you, and thank you for watching Full Count Rhythm Baseball on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
This has been another Full Count Rhythm Baseball game presented by Full Count Ministry and Rhythm Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. See you next time on the Full Count Broadcast Network.